Hello, everybody, and welcome to Honey Badger Radio. My name is Brian. I'm here with Allison, and this is Maintaining Frame number 170. All men love women, women most effective. All women love
No,
women.
all women love women.
All women love women, women most
Women
affected.
most affected.
Yeah.
I wonder if we'll ever find the bottom of this barrel of women most affected.
No.
Women most affected.
Yeah. Women exist, women most affected.
I
I mean, we're already at men exist, women most affected, so.
Yeah, why not?
Yeah.
I mean, men exist implies the existence of an other, which implies that women are most infected by the existence of the other that is not men.
Mm-hmm. That's
All
true.
right. Mm-hmm.
So we got the request to,
Well, two.
what? Yeah.
We got a couple more requests from Richard. And then also later on, we're going to look at the whole Twitter controversy over the one ring to rule all the thoughts, all the trad thoughts. And so it's like a full house today on Honey Badger Radio. So yeah, look forward to that. And I'll do the things. If you would like to send us a message, please go to feedthebadger.com/justthetip. The very best way to send us a tip and the very best way for you to send us a message, because we know where it goes and it doesn't go through YouTube's comment labyrinth of delights. So feedthebadger.com/justthetip. And right now I am doing a fundraiser to help Brian out because he had a Cervidae catastrophe recently. And and he's down a bit in terms of the funds. So if you would like to help out Brian, the link should be in the low bar. The URL is a little bit complicated. It is feedthebadger.com/products/close encounters of the Cervidae kind. But it might just be easier to look in the low bar to help Brian out. I need to get like a shortened URL for that, but I haven't put that in place yet. Anyway, we have $420 left as of now. And would be really nice to get that funded so that Brian is, this might affect his ability to attend certain conventions, well, Badger related events. So it'd be great to get that help fixed for him. It's essentially he hit a deer. If you're wondering
what
all
hit
these
me. A deer hit me.
The deer hit.
Yes, I didn't hit a deer. I'm serious. We were doing a speed limit. I was looking out. But where it happened, a deer just jumped on top, like basically on top of the car. So
it's just like, I don't want to live anymore. Goodbye, cruel world. Fling. Yeah, no, I believe it because we've had close encounters of the deer kind. Not to that degree, but the deer, they have a death wish. Those deer, they do, and they're going to bring you into their death wish. And they'll do that no matter what your intentions or desires are. So I believe it. And plus, like, we are, everything in Saskatchewan, or most things in Saskatchewan, we have a wide field of view. We get a lot of advanced warning if anything is coming towards the car. But in Virginia, lots of windy roads and thickets to hide deer who no longer wish to be in this world. So I believe it. But anyway, if you want to help Brian out, you want to stop listening to me, just go into the low bar and there'll probably be a link. Hopefully there's a link. If you want to attempt,
go to feedthebadger.com, you'll find it. You can just go to feedthebadger.com, right?
And I'm not sure if I made it visible in the catalog request. It's also in the Discord, which is probably the easiest way. Most of you are in the Discord. It's in just general announcements. So there you go. Yeah. Okay. Canada has a moose problem. Night Motorcycle says, yeah, but if you stay away from the moose, where the moose are, moose generally don't come to us. They don't start things, moose. They'll end things, but they don't start things unless you come really close to them. And then, in which case, they figure you started it. So, okay. Speaking of starting things.
Yes, let's get into this queer Kiwi video called All Women Love Women Are Suddenly Gay. So the summary is that queer Kiwi she basically peruses Reddit to get her content.
Good for her.
Yeah. Um, and there's a Reddit called Suddenly Gay. And so she goes there and explores queer humor and accidental revelations. So let's play a bit of the intro. Richard Bier gives us $5 and says at least Rainbow Shite isn't talking about cooter muffins. I guess.
Oh, why do you bring this up again? Okay, no, I know why. For that reaction, probably.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
You give him what he wants every time. All right, so let's play it.
Greetings, guys, gals, non-binary pals, and welcome to another fun, short video that I enjoy making and I hope you enjoy watching. And today we're doing something that for some reason I've never done before, which is astounding considering how long I've been making content and how much of my content used to revolve around this sort of content. And that is going through the subreddit r/suddenly gay. Now, I have no idea how I've not made a video about this before. I have no idea why I've not made a video about this before, but I had a lot of fun going through the subreddit, and I hope you have a lot of fun looking at what I found with me. So basically,
all right, just that's her like laying out her big idea. So let's jump into when we get into the.
That was a lot of words to say. I found some cancer in our suddenly gay. You could have just,
Yeah.
you could just, that was like 5 seconds. I think we just went through 30. Okay.
Yeah. Okay. So she thanks her patrons, of which she has a lot, which
A little
says something
disheartening.
about the actual state of people today.
okay, so let's get into some people being suddenly gay. Happy Pride Month to my dad. When I came out as bi to him, this man Googled what it meant, looked at me and said, "Oh yeah, you get that from me. You'd have far more siblings if I only shagged women," and went right back to his work email.
Shagged?
Shag.
It's spelled. I know it's supposed to be shagged, but that's literally spelled shagged. Sorry, just misspelling.
Wow, is this like Zoomers realizing their parents were people or something, and they actually had a life before they existed? Like their parents had a life before the Zoomers existed. John Bryan's just shaking his. Okay, what is her conclusion from this?
I don't know.
I'm sure I sense that it might be anti-male, but we'll see.
I don't know.
So funny. But also, sir, use protection. Like, that implies that he was also not safe while having sex with men. And sir, you absolutely should have been using protection for both any encounters with men and women. Pregnancy still should not have been so much of an option.
It was a joke.
Yeah, I think it was.
Yeah, and I don't think that he intended that to be taken as a literal confession of his safe sex practices. But, surely this is justified because
there are no jokes. Everything is super serious all the time.
But men,
when I want it to be.
I just love this flag because they are creating so many lines and colors and symbols, and what they really want to say is that this is the no men club. And this is the scapegoating men club. So why don't they just have they could just simplify this completely and just have like a male symbol with a.
I don't think they've even figured out that's what it really means yet. I mean, if you debated someone like this, they would say, no, this isn't excluding men. So I don't think they even know. They just like how special it makes them feel.
Yes, of course. Even as they say things like gay men are the straight men of gay people, and black men are the white men of black people, and trans men. Whoops. Trans women are the trans men of trans people.
Maybe that one's a bit trickier, I think, but I think that's why there's a big split between TERFs and intersectionals.
I just wish they would come out with it, they'd just be like, yeah, everybody but the penis people. We like everybody but the penis people. And we mostly just advocate for these people so that we can be meaner to the penis people. Okay, let's
yeah. All right.
I respect this way of just coming out like
dealing with cat things.
like this. I can only imagine the look on this person's face when he was met with this. Imagine coming out to your dad and you're like, I'm bi. I'm attracted to men and women. I don't care about the gender of the people I date. And your dad just looks at you and go, oh yeah, I used to fuck a lot of men. How do you do you respond to that? You kind of
I thought we were supposed to just be sort of generically supportive of whatever people do. It's like post-sexual liberation.
How do you
I don't
respond to
understand
that?
why this is a problem. You're supposed to just be blanketly supportive, no matter what, I thought.
Well, the complaint is that her father has stolen her thunder, I guess.
Oh, so he basically didn't
Didn't respond.
get a very strong reaction. So she wanted to shock her father with
Yeah,
the news,
probably.
and he was like, "Oh, okay," and
Yeah.
that's a problem.
Mm-hmm.
Not surprising.
Yeah.
I think a lot
Not
of
really.
times people do stuff like that because they're hoping to get a reaction, and then they don't get a reaction because it doesn't like it. We're not at the point where that's shocking anymore, and then they get upset that there's no reaction because that was the whole point, I
Yeah.
guess.
Yeah, it was like on Monday we talked about these people who, or we were talking about scary Skeletor woman, Femtor.
Drama queen, yeah.
John, yeah, I prefer scary Skeletor woman. And
Skeletor is at a whole other level beyond her. But yeah, I
I
guess.
know. Well, okay.
Bizarro Wednesday. I don't know.
Bizarro Wednesday. Okay. Well, Bizarro Wednesday essentially is talking about how people are offended by individuals who go out of their way to do things that are offensive or like out of the norm or shocking. And it's like, well, I mean, for sure, you can do those things, but people are going to be shocked if you intend to shock them. Right? You know, that's what's going to happen. And then they'll do this, and then they'll look at the reactions of people being shocked or offended by the things that they did in order to be shocking and offensive, and they'll say, look at the society that we are in, look at it, it is so wrong, right? But if there is no reaction, look at the society we're in, it is wrong.
Mm-hmm.
So you
Well,
just can't win. Don't play.
We're quickly running out of ways for people to stand out. The snowflakes are starting to look the same.
Mm-hmm.
And they are snowflakes, but now they're not as special. And so that's a problem because they can't, like, this is why when we talked about it, I talked about how when I was little, when I was a kid growing up, a tattoo, just one, was like a huge deal because you didn't see it.
Mm-hmm.
Now, if you don't see it, it's kind of a big deal, right? So like this woman, she's trying to put every color of the rainbow in her hair, and like it gets no reaction because it's like, okay, whatever. Like once upon a time, that would have been like shocking, but we're running out of ways for
Be shocked.
we're running out of ways for people who otherwise wouldn't be very interesting to make themselves interesting, because that's usually what it's like, a cover for something that they lack, or at least something they think they lack. In place of a personality, I will apply like crazy hair colors and wild piercings and like new ways to shock and awe people when they look at me on the street, which was like the whole drama queen thing. And another way is to be like, hey guys, I'm like bi, and people are supposed to be like, whoa, that's crazy. But nobody does that now because it's like, okay, so what? That's actually kind of problematic, because being bisexual suggests that there are two genders. So we have a problem here, right? So like you can't like even there's nothing left. There's nothing new under the sun. It's all been done now. So it's time to like, I don't know, like actually like be interesting, like learn a skill, read a book, be able to hold a conversation, and don't just be like, hey dad, I think I like girls too. And then he's like, because it is old hat. So yeah, I don't know.
Well, I mean, it might have been controversial when he was liking men, 20 years ago or however long it was. But
yeah,
not
well, that's
so much
just it,
anymore.
right? It's like they missed out on that. Like back in the day, maybe that was a big deal, but now it's not. And it's like, oh, well, where's my struggle? Where's my heroic fight?
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. Well, maybe you need to start thinking about yourself in terms of your action. There's your heroic fight.
Mm,
Fight against the monsters from your own id.
yeah.
Become a better person instead of just defining yourself by ridiculous categories that you make up in many cases. Okay, let's
All right.
more rainbow individual.
Rainbow shite. Okay.
Just go. Okay, a little bit too much information there, but like that's hilarious. I don't know whether
Why
to,
is
like,
it too
burst
much
out
information?
laughing or just be like,
That is kind of weird because like this is literally are suddenly gay. You'd think that there's probably some sexual content.
Yeah, but
Being that that's the whole but it seems to be a problem because of the father, because it's her father. That's why.
why are you having a squeam, Rainbow? Is that some unexamined homophobia? Okay.
Well, I don't know. I wouldn't be comfortable with my parents telling me about their sexual adventures. I don't want to know that about my parents.
Mhm.
I know they had sex because I'm here, but like I don't want my mom to tell me the story or that she went through a bi phase or something. I think that is a just in general, but maybe because like I'm speaking
Yeah,
for
but she's
myself.
not the daughter, right? This is
No, she's
Rainbow.
not. She's a third party. Yeah.
She's a third party saying, "Oh well, it's good that the girl came out as bi, but male
Yeah.
bisexuality. I don't know. That's too much information for me." Ugh.
Yeah,
Okay.
maybe. Okay.
Well, it's probably because there's
great,
penis
good,
people
okay.
involved.
Glad we had this chat because that's hilarious. That's so funny. Brilliant. 10 out of 10. Happy Pride Month to him indeed. I'm not saying Wanda cheated, but Wanda cheated. And it's Wanda from Fairly Odd Parents. And then that guy that I don't remember, but whom is like her ex and he's like in love with her. I don't remember.
Well, I don't know what this is.
Yeah,
You
neither
don't.
do I. It's
So I'm gonna
random
jump ahead
Tumblr
to the next.
Tumblr fan crap.
Yeah.
Is there some good stuff in here? Maybe. Yeah. Okay. All right. Sorry. I asked an impossible question. Let's let's go through your time codes.
Yeah. Let me just get
delay
to the
that
time
question.
codes.
Delay that question.
Well, I will. And can I just ask Richard a question? I'm being serious. Okay. When you pick these videos, do you watch them, or do you just pick them because it has people in it that you know that we don't like or that we might have a reaction to? Because I
You
feel
probably didn't
like
answer.
because I feel like when the video is shared, I presume that there's the hope that there's something in it that we're gonna have to that he wants to hear our opinion on. But
Mhm.
just some like terminally online Reddit person saying Reddit things. I don't have anything to add except okay, retard. Like I don't So if you like are suddenly gay and you're just laughing at the content on there, I don't know. I feel like it's like being over some stranger's house and they say, come over here, let me show you some stuff on my computer. And they show you a bunch of boring websites you've never been to because you've never been inclined to go there. And so I feel like
Mhm.
there's something I'm supposed to be doing, but I don't know what it is, so I'm grasping, you know.
So it's the
That's why
great ennui.
I just want to know if Richard
Does
doesn't
she
mind,
at
just tell
any
me, is there
point?
something in here that is important?
Okay.
So I don't spend an hour
Does
looking at this video.
does
But
she at any point talk about women becoming gay because of the horribleness of men?
don't I no, I don't think so.
All right, let's just go through your
I
time
mean, there
code.
is a cultural commentary on masculinity section, yeah, but
Yeah.
let's watch this. Okay, and let's just watch this.
This is canon. So sorry, Wanda. I apologize. I'm sorry I had to find out this way. At least once a month, I think about the girl from my high school AP psych class who is like, we shouldn't allow gay people to get married because then all of the girls would want to marry a girl and the population would die out because we would all want to marry girls, right? I'm so sorry that you had to find out this way, but no, that's not true. This is the thing, right? And I see like lesbians talk about this, in which a lot of lesbians don't realize
Okay,
they're
here we go.
lesbians because culture and idea around like women are so pretty, women are beautiful, all women are great, all women are beautiful, and men are all pigs. And sex with men is boring and bad, and they don't care about us, and we don't like really care about them. We just tolerate them. And I've seen that whole idea that comes from a lot of women makes a lot of lesbians think that the way they feel about men is just how straight women women feel about men, which, you know, fair enough. I understand.
Wait a second. Wait. So all lesbians think men don't care about and they're boring. And I mean, you don't have to just regard men as sexually interesting to regard men as human beings that you could have platonic relationships with. Like, did you just see what she glossed over there?
Mhm.
Lesbians hate men. Really, all of them? Okay, and I guess I'm the lesbianophobe. Like, what?
Yeah.
All right, okay, lesbian. All okay. We heard it from Rainbow.
Well, I mean,
Rainbow
I guess
Shite.
if your exposure to lesbians is Reddit, then yeah, they probably do.
Yeah, you're probably right. Okay, let's okay.
All right.
In not realizing that you're a lesbian. And I feel like it really did a number on this girlie here in the similar way of like being like, we all just marry men because we have to, right? That's just like what we were told to do. No one really likes men. We all appreciate how wonderful and beautiful and brilliant women are. Obviously, we can all agree on that. And a lot of straight women do speak like that. So I understand how you may have gotten confused. And I hope.
So women and men were getting together because they were told to. There was no other factors at play. Through all of human history, women were just with men because they were told that you were supposed to do that. Wow, I feel so lucky to be alive then. I mean, if it weren't for somebody telling my mom that she was supposed to have babies with my father, she probably wouldn't have, and then the human race would just be extinct. Gosh, I wonder why there's so much nihilism in the world. I have no
Where is
idea.
she
It's a
going with
mystery.
it?
I don't know. It's I think it's gonna be like something queer women are best women or something.
Okay. Well,
She's
let's
figured
find
it
out.
And I hope she's doing well, has come to terms with her sexuality, and has settled down. My girlfriend put makeup on me for Halloween. And
Wait, what? I think I missed something. Did we skip something or did we
She
talk
just
over her?
said, let me just go back a little bit. No, she just said, I
Yeah,
hope
go back.
that she, figures it out. She just basically left it hanging.
Terms with her sexuality and has settled down.
Oh, because
my girlfriend,
because she's ingested all of this anti-male crap.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like to bring this up. I did look at the statistics. Lesbians have the highest rate of divorce, and lesbians and gay couples tend to marry at the same rate. So they do have the highest rate of divorce. Then heterosexual couples, although there's a little bit of a statistical chicanery there, and then gay couples. Maybe it's not men. Just a possibility.
Maybe.
Just a possibility. Okay.
Put makeup on me for Halloween, and a guy at the bar yelled at me, "Your makeup looks good as fuck. You killed it." Now I understand how girls feel when someone compliments them. I felt so fucking beautiful. Then he tried to finger me. We've been dating for a few weeks now. She just did her boyfriend's makeup all nice and good, and he felt good about himself. He got a compliment.
That was
escalation. To be with some man that he met at a bar. Ouch.
Did he finger his butt? Like, I mean, what do you mean he fingered me? Like, okay, well.
Maybe he said, come over here.
Fingered his ear? Did he do his ear? Get in his nostril? Like, what? Okay, whatever.
Some oral stimulation.
And by the way, I think you should take this with a grain of salt.
A grain of salt. Yeah, huge grain of salt.
Reddit stories, like, who knows?
Truck of salt. Yeah.
Because, like, everyone's trying to, like, you get people, they're writing about their personal experiences and they're sharing information. And when you get people doing that, there's a tendency for people to try to top each other in terms of their stories. And then they end up telling tall tales. So, fish stories, as it were. But anyway, yeah.
Well, okay, but that. I mean,
and also, what isn't there like an achievement or scoring system in Reddit where you can get like karma?
Yeah, you get social credit points. Yeah,
and you get it's like social credit, and like the more people like what you say, the more of that you get. So doesn't that encourage people to like stretch the truth or exaggerate or whatever?
Yes. But I would like to add this, that I've noticed sort of a trend between men and women. And it's not like, I'm not talking about straight men and women, but I guess bisexual men and women. Men who are able to do so will go from women to men, and they'll describe the incredible relief and joy of being with a partner who shares or is willing to have take an interest in their interests, isn't constantly expecting to be the center of attention, isn't constantly expecting to be served and paid for and pampered, and that, you know, there's this whole world that opens up in the relationship for his own needs. And then I will go to the other side, and women dating women. You know, it's like that Bill Burr sketch. I think it was Bill Burr. You know, you don't look, you know, go to a lesbian bar and look at not the new lesbians, the young ones who haven't been, you know, around for, you know, like 5-10 years. Look at the old lesbians, and they look like they've come back from a tour of Nam. Like,
yeah. I do remember that joke.
Yeah, and it's like
Back when Bill Burr was
still
somewhat
funny.
based, somewhat
Yeah.
a little bit.
And I see the opposite going with women, and then they go with, like, they'll be like, "Oh, I can't stand men," blah blah blah, and then they'll go and they'll date women, and then after like a year, they'll come out and like, just, I have PTSD. Oh my god, I understand everything that men say about women. I understand that frog meme with women on the bottom.
Well, just Nora Vincent is basically
I'm
like the whole thing summed up.
I regret to inform you, women. And I
Okay.
just wanted to note that difference. Okay.
Yeah. All right,
Oh, and
let's
he
play
said,
some
Bill
more.
Burr said, like, that gay guys are just so happy, like they're just levitating,
Yeah.
you know, too happy. All right,
All right.
let's keep going.
That would hurt a little bit, I think. Being broken up with for them to date someone they met and got fingered by at a bar.
Probably the
But
first
hey,
compliment he's ever had in his life.
Probably, probably didn't get compliments like that from even the women around him. But also,
Nope.
I mean, if he was willing to run off like that, he probably wasn't really into you anyways. So you're just
Yeah.
helping him find his true self.
Mm-hmm.
At least, you know? And
Win.
this encounter seemed to help him figure out his sexuality. Whether it's real or not remains uncertain. I'm leaning probably towards it's not real. However, it is funny, so I'm going to pretend that it is.
Good for you.
Right? I don't need people in my comments being like, you always take things too seriously and think that they're real. I don't care. It's more fun to go along with things as though they're real. Nothing is an original experience, right? Like,
So
just because someone is making it up doesn't mean it's a made-up scenario. Doesn't mean it's never happened. So even if
good
things are
Lord.
made up,
You
I'm
don't-
gonna act as though
you
they're
wanna-
real, because even if it didn't happen to this person, it most likely has happened to someone else at some point. So
Okay. Let's get into. She's going to talk about masculinity, cultural commentary on masculinity.
if they're not benefiting from their labor. These guys were flirting, so my boyfriend had to step in, and they're holding up a phone that says tits, and then it pans to her boyfriend, and he is nodding and looking at them and undoing his shirt, and then he flashes them, and then they start cheering and being like, hell yeah, woo! But like, joke's on you here. They may have been talking to him in the first place. We don't know. Is this suddenly gay, or were they already gay to begin with? Their sign could have been for both of them.
Bi? Like, what's with the bi erasure, lady? I'm just using the terms.
Right. I mean, they could have just been joking around too, though.
Yeah, they could have just been
Like,
joking
guys
around.
horse around about being gay, you know, just like they call each other gay. Like, that's what guys do. It's fun. Of course, we're not allowed to do that anymore because you know, if you're in the UK or something, or Canada, you can get thrown in jail. But yeah, this
Not
is
so
the way
bad in
men
Canada
joke with each
as
other.
of yet, but yes.
Well, there's the pronoun thing, title, whatever it's called.
Yeah.
Which
I'm
has,
not quite sure it's as bad as it is in the UK. The UK is.
I think it's definitely worse in the UK and Scotland and stuff. But yeah, I mean,
I
it
think
could.
the
Like, I was,
influence of the
what
US is a little
ultimately
too
saying
strong.
is that guys can't make jokes about being gay with other men generally, because women like this activist types will get their panties in a twist over it. So what I'm saying is that maybe it's just for the sake of the video, All I'm saying is that in this particular scenario, it's entirely possible that no one involved is gay and they're just being funny and he's playing along. And maybe they were trying to get his girlfriend to do it and then he did it and they said, okay, we'll roll with it because, you know, men generally have a better sense of humor than most people. So just my 2 cents on that one.
Okay. Okay, let's go.
Maybe they didn't care, either her or him. They don't mind. They reacted strongly to this. They weren't like mad or upset or anything. They were like, hell yeah, tits, let's fucking go. I don't care who they're on as long as I see them, which I respect. Is it suddenly gay or is it already bisexual? Beta male.
No, that's probably just joke.
So she did include the buys.
Okay.
So she did.
You want to go? Alpha male, you're going to have the best night of your life. I'll see you at 9 p.m. Wear that tight red dress. And someone quote tweeted with, I legit had to reread this several times before I realized it wasn't intended to be a conversation between the beta male and the alpha male. Yeah, same. That's how this format usually goes. And it works in this scenario as well. Like, that's so fucking funny. Beta males are like, where do you want to go? And the alpha male is just like, I'm going to take you out. Wear that nice dress. You're gonna have the best night of your life. Like, yeah, this.
Do you get what that was?
No, I do. I get 100%, and she's reinterpreting it as gay. I don't know. Like, this is pretty weak.
Well,
sauce.
a lot of people are reading into it like in their own way. So
yeah, this is weak sauce. This is. I expect more from Rainbow Shite. I don't want to. Okay, yeah, I expect
actually,
more
no,
from
I
her.
think her content is pretty like this. She's
bland.
not that contentious. Like, you know, Drama Queen yells at the camera. Manifestel,
Yeah,
like, you know, is
defensive.
like a serpent. But this woman is just sort of like, haha, I'm queer. Look at my hair. Ha, this is funny. I was on Reddit today. Here's my friend. Here's my stuffed animals. Like, it's kind of, I don't know.
Inert?
It's like it's inoffensive, but not productive. Like it's just kind of like there. It's just kind of like a wet noodle, in my opinion.
That's a good
No.
point. Wet noodle. All right, let's do the
Yeah,
final
it's like
time.
a
Is there more than one
pool
more
noodle.
time code? Yes.
Yeah, there's
Well, pool noodles still have stiffness when they're wet, though.
well, yeah, I guess so. Then yeah, definitely not. It's a flaccid pool noodle. So
his benefit. Maybe I don't know. I hope she knows, or I hope she doesn't know. Let her not know, because personalized number plates are fucking expensive, and she can just keep driving around innocent and oblivious
Did I
to
miss
what her
something?
license plate says. I think
I'm
because
too far
everyone else
ahead.
gets a good
Doesn't
giggle
matter.
out of it, and I think that, you know, potentially she
This
get a
is
good laugh out of
so
it, but
not I
she
thought
also
it would be.
might not.
Richard, you gotta up your game if you want me to cringe. Like,
That's so
seriously,
funny.
this
That's so funny.
this woman.
I feel like this event was born out of a lie that got out
She
of
looks
hand.
like a
And
My
it's
Little Pony from the
the
80s.
luge, is that what it's called?
What?
Her hair looks like a My Little Pony from the 80s.
Yeah. So here's the I think this is like really the last one. I mean,
Yeah, okay, let's go for it. Let's do it. If you
okay.
felt
So
it
there's
was
like two
important, let's do it.
guys doing a luge thing.
I don't know. The one where you're like lying on a sled thing and going down a ramp. And this one is, there's two people. And so the one on the bottom is lying real stiff straight, and then there's someone on top of him, like directly on top of him, like back to his front, holding on. And the tweet with it is so funny. Like, I feel like this was a lie that got out of hand. Like, yeah, that's so fucking funny. It's like when people go to hospital.
You realize that the humor of this relies
It is really funny.
but the humor of this relies on the taboo around male sexuality with other men. That's what it relies on. So she's basically, in order to be funny. Otherwise, it's just two men doing a sport. You know, a lot of sports require some amount of physical contact between their respective players. But if we didn't have any like stigma over physical contact between men. First of all, sexualizing it, because we sexualize everything that men do. But if we didn't
with
do
other
that
men,
with other
in
men, but
particular
with
with other men,
children
yes.
and with women and with animals, like you'd not notice like this constant sexualization of men's behavior in every conceivable context,
Mm-hmm.
right? We even excessively sexualize their behavior with, well, I mean, like we'll look at a scenario where a man has like a sex doll, and we will frame him in a particular way, and then we will look at the subjectivity of the sex doll as greater than his. You notice, like, in order to frame him as sexually predatory, right? This
Well,
is the insane.
why is right now we have this whole thing in the video game space about Collective Shout, which is this feminist activist organization that is basically trying to get video games banned because they're sexualizing women and girls in video games. And
Yeah.
they use the most extreme examples of games, but they're really going after all of them. And it
Mm-hmm.
comes from the same thing, because men are the ones that primarily play video games, and if they feature women in them, then there is an assumption that there's something
That is,
sexual going on,
yeah,
even
but
if
even so,
yeah.
if there, it's not just the assumption that there's something sexual going on, but that if there's something sexual going on, the man is a predator. So I want to get back to the sex doll example. So you got this lump of silicone in the shape of a woman, and you got a man, and
Mhm.
they'll look at this, like these feminists like this will look at this, and they will create a subjectivity for the doll in order to turn the man into a predator, like a sexual predator. And we do this constantly. We sexualize men. I guess in this scenario, it's two men. So which one's the predator, right? But it's still sexualized. And it's like that's men don't get away from that. They're constantly sexualized in this manner. And it's not the way that women are sexualized. Women are sexualized as in being desirable. Men are sexualized as being not desirable and criminal.
Mhm.
And she's just playing into that right there. I mean, I know it's milk toast. She probably doesn't even think that deeply about what she's saying. It's just two men hugging on a sled. You know, but if you think about it, that's why would that be funny unless it's breaking a taboo? And what taboo is it breaking when this is an athletic event, right? Like this is just two men achieving a goal. They're physically scrunched together, but it's because of the physics of the situation. You
Mhm.
know, I mean, you could say the same thing about the national sport of Turkey, which is oil wrestling. You know, it's
Yeah,
not
right. Sure, they have
it's
the
not
oil wrestling.
it's not supposed to be gay. I
No,
mean, that's a little
but I
bit
mean,
more of an edge.
we tend to,
Yeah.
we tend to, especially today, these days, we tend to see all loves as erotic. So
Mm-hmm.
we don't, there's different loves, right? There's platonic and other kinds, but like these days it seems like almost front and center is always the erotic love. So this is, and particular when it comes to the way that we frame it around men, which is why we see, like you said, men around children as a problem, because we immediately jump to conclusions about that. Or men around other women, obviously, men around inanimate objects, like,
Yeah.
so
And that makes no sense. Like, how
mhm.
can you think that a sex doll has more of a subject? You're actually respecting and honoring the subjectivity of a lump of silicone more than a man. It's insane and sort of gross, by the way. That's why this whole discussion around sex dolls, I just look at it. I'm like, what the hell are you psychos on? Because all
Mhm.
of the condemnation requires you to believe that the sex doll has some kind of subjectivity greater than the man, and it's ridiculous. All right, but anyway, it actually says a lot about the people who are calling it out. But ultimately, again, the humor of this only rests on this excessive sexualization of men. I wanted to say something about we've been watching, this is another Richard request. No Man's Zone, and we've been watching it with the writers retreat, and it actually was like, I think it was a really good request. I don't know why he just dropped the ball with this one, but the No Man's Zone is really fascinating because it's a Russian series, a sci-fi series, where they examine they do a what if about the creation of an all-female society. Although there are some males in that society who provide the seed for it to continue. But but they're really, really soy. I don't know how else to describe it. But it actually ends up being a real critique of how women do and the things that they engage in. And one of the fascinating things about the second season that we've been watching now, spoilers guys, is that the main male character and the main female character who are in a relationship now, and she is from this femtopia and he's from an external society that they term the primates because they dehumanize the men. And she is treating him like a sexual convenience because throughout her entire life, she's only ever had any kind of sexual contact with essentially machines, vibrators. And he's having trouble because the leader of Femtopia, the new leader of Femtopia, has declared like a genocide upon the primates, and he's like freaking out about that. And she's expecting him to continue to service her sexually like a machine, like he doesn't, and he's not able to because, of course, he's under considerable amount of stress about what Femtopia is doing to the people that he came from, and so he's unable to perform sexually, and she's getting more and more pissed off about it because she doesn't understand that he's not a sexual convenience like the things that she's had sexual relationships with up to this point. Like he's a person. And I thought that was really, really on point for what I'm seeing in behavior of women now.
Yeah.
And even like when we finished off that woman, from the New York Times, and how she and her friends mocked a man because he did not want to have sex with them, or he said, well, I'm too anxious, I don't, I can't handle having sex with you, whatever. And they mocked him in public for it because they saw him as a sexual convenience, not a person.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's on the continuum with what I know we're going a deep dive here, guys. We're doing some serious, like, deep dive squirrel action here. But I think that's on a continuum with what she's doing, which is two men, it's sexual. So that's what's funny about it. Right. And it's like, no, it's not. You are actually turning two men engaging in a sport into, you're sexualizing them. Because even though you're a lesbian, I think, apparently you are also infested with the men are a sexual convenience mentality. And men are entirely defined by sex mentality. All right. Anyway, I got it back. We have surfaced. We have surfaced in the squirrel submarine.
All right. So this is that was the last bit from that video.
Squirrel submarine.
So I guess we'll get to the other one. Please stick to monogamy.
Okay, yeah, sure.
All right, let's do it. So, all right.
We all live.
Hey guys, gals, non-binary pals, and welcome back to another video. The other day, I was on Twitter, as I usually am, and I came across this tweet that made me giggle. It made me laugh because I agree with it wholeheartedly, and that reads, my absolute favorite brand of Reddit story is men posting things like, I bullied my wife into an open relationship and it turns out she's a very desirable goddess and I'm somewhat of an unfuckable troll. How do I fix my relationship?
Oh, okay, so now we're into the spice. All right,
this is a different video. So right, so please stick to monogamy.
yeah,
I'm gonna press exit out on that, but okay, sure.
Yeah, let's press exit out. Also, guys, you might. I'm pretty sure men know at this point that opening their relationship is a disaster.
I mean, if you don't want that, like, sometimes, like, I think that it's well, there's probably no data on this, but I think that generally when you open your relationships, women get more opportunities generally than men. I think that that should
Oh,
be,
100%.
yeah, that should be obvious,
100%.
right? So that's why when they say my favorite brand of Reddit story is men posting things like I bullied my wife into an open relationship. First off, shit that doesn't happen. I don't think men bully their wives. Why are you married if you're bullying each other into an open relationship? And it turns out she's a very desirable goddess and I'm somewhat of an unfuckable troll. How do I fix my relationship? That just I'm sorry, that just doesn't sound like anything that happens. I mean, that doesn't mean it never happens. I'm saying it just doesn't happen as much as these people think. Because generally, women have more opportunities to do that than men, and that has more to do with men's standards than women's. So, but anyway,
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
Yeah,
yeah.
I mean, I honestly have heard more of the stories of a man being unwilling to do it and people sure shaming him, especially in media. I mean, this used to be a thing about polyamory like 25 years ago. They would say stuff like this, and it's like, that brown is just, I think she has like brown on one side. It really doesn't work with the rest of her hair unless it's a blue, in which case she
Well,
needs to
what
brighten it.
on this side over here where it's
Yeah,
darker? I
yeah.
think that is dark, like a deep indigo.
Okay, all right, fair enough.
Yeah.
I couldn't
Yeah.
agree more. It's so funny. There's something so funny and so beautiful about these situations. Like, it's horrible, but also absolutely hilarious. And it happens so much, like a ridiculous amount. And it was through this tweet that I learned there was actually an entire subreddit dedicated to that sort of thing exactly, which is called r/open marriage regrets. And I saw that and I was like, oh my
No,
God.
you know what?
I
Pause for a second. I'm going to take a look. Well, no, we can actually continue. Reddit.com/r open marriage
Regrets.
regrets. Well, I'm guessing that there's very few women who regret that.
Yeah, yeah. I don't know.
for a
Okay,
video. So
What, you found something?
I'm 35M and I'm regretting having an open marriage with my 26F wife. Okay, so edit, for fuck's sake, people, this is my real, okay, here we go. Do you have I think you can just browse Reddit even if you don't have an account. I know that you're
I
a little
don't.
bit baffled by,
I'm leery of
yeah,
that.
Reddit. Yeah, I know. Reddit is something worthy of being leery of. I'm jealous of how
Sure,
easy
that
things are for
I
my
can look
wife.
at it.
I admit that this is the worst thing I ever did and regret it the most. November 2024, I brought up the idea of an open marriage with my wife, and she was 100% against it. I don't understand why, but now I do. For some idea of things, I suggest this to spice things up in our marriage, or so I thought, but I quickly realized that I was wrong, and I could have suggested other things with her and kept our marriage exclusive. Okay. This thing, you know what? I hate to tell you this, but I think this might be fetish material. We don't have kids and I don't plan on it, so we have a lot of time together. How do I fix things with her? I don't want to lose her, and I've learned my lesson or have things end in divorce. Okay, I'm white male, 6'5" with dark hair, and yet I couldn't do the things she could. One night we were at a jazz club, and at the bar, I was across the room attempting to make her jealous, but she wasn't even paying attention. What the fuck? Really?
What?
Well, just okay. So this guy is attempting to make his wife jealous. I was attempting to make her jealous, but she wasn't even paying attention to me as I watched. I seen at least at least 8 men walk up to her and try to buy her a drink, and she refused all of them. And when we got home, I was embarrassed and upset. I asked her if we could end the open marriage thing, and she agreed and told me, now you know that you're not the only man who desires me. And that made me melt at her feet. Now I worship her entire existence. Okay, friends, this is fetish material.
Probably.
These people are taking fetish material seriously. Right? Okay, let's see the second one. I proposed open marriage, but I regret it. Oh, too long don't read. I don't like that my husband's going out with 18 to 21 age skinny girls exclusively since we opened the relationship. So we, female 37, male 40, men in college, we've always been very much in the same wavelength. Okay. He's very athletic, always has been, periodically spends. Okay. He also has a much higher sex drive than I do, and he likes to be very rough in bed. That wasn't a problem until recently, but I started having trouble keeping up, getting kinks in my neck and spine, and generally feeling like I've been run over after every session with him. That's the reason I proposed opening the relationship, to get some outside help so he leaves me alone. Wow. So he leaves me alone. Now I don't know if it's me being insecure, but I regret it because he's been going out with very young women. I mean, 18 to 21, and consistently very skinny. He never makes comments about my body besides nudging me to work out with him. But I've never been skinny, and I can't help but imagine him with them whenever he doesn't come home with me. It gives me a feeling of disgust that he's going after such young girls. I think it makes me look at him differently. My niece is 17 now, and I have to worry about him being attracted to her. This is mostly a vent. My feelings come from insecurity about being old and used up, and I don't know if he'll want to back out of the open marriage now. This is not a real post. Okay, yes. Do you realize that the 35M is probably not a real post either? Let's see.
I got one.
No,
This
they
is
didn't.
actually on our open marriage regret.
Yeah.
After years of swinging with couples and my husband watching me with single men, I had my first consensual solo experience, and I don't know if our marriage will recover. So she does it once, she's turned out. I'm not going to read anymore. I think that this basically frames it.
Okay, so this is, first of all, this is cherry picking because there's apparently women who also regret. Second of all, I think a lot of this is fetish material, so tread carefully if you treat it seriously. But no, let's continue with Rainbow Shite's addition to the swamp. It feels sort of like she's just spitting into the swamp, but okay.
Yeah, I mean, she's cherry picking this, like you said, like the stuff that she wants to talk about. So let's jump ahead to the conflict between monogamy, or do you want to like listen to more of this?
Let's finish this. Rambles. Okay, you know what? I think we got a taste of our open marriage. Let's get her opinion.
All right.
Here we are. We are going to take a dive into r/open marriage regrets, which is exactly as it sounds, where
Wait, you want me to just jump ahead to where she sort of gives a
jump ahead to where she gives a conclusion. I know that's somewhat difficult for her, but hopefully there is a conclusion in this 47 minutes.
cheated on him and then insisted on having an open marriage when I got caught. So now I can't even go to my family's house because my dad is mad at me and won't hear me out. Pretty sure he told some of our common friends the same thing because they won't answer my texts. I was able to move into an apartment and now I'm just waiting for things to calm down with my family and for the divorce to be finalized. Oh, and I could lose my job soon because someone left some serious bad reviews on the website and now I'm being investigated. So I've been home. I have no one to talk to.
Okay, wait. What's the beginning of this particular anecdote? I feel like we've missed some context, friends. We just dove into the third act. Okay.
Use our heads and think about what an open marriage is and what it looks like. Husband wanted an open marriage and is now mad at me for seeing someone, plus update and ongoing issue. We, female 22, male 25, have been married for 2 years and together for almost 6. Yet, beginning of last year, he told me he has room in his heart for more than one woman and is a man for more than one partner. He wanted an open marriage. It was so hard for me to agree, but the minute I did, he started seeing this beautiful, attractive girl. I can't even explain how painful it was to know that I'm not enough for him, that he's spending time with someone else. And he did. From spending nights with her to texting her.
I just want to point out something. Remember what we watched with the woman who was like, I want to open the relationship so I can get rid of him. You know, so I don't have to deal with them. And I like how this man is like framing it in a more positive way. Like, oh, I have more heart. I have room in my heart for more than one woman.
Yeah.
I don't know why people do this to themselves, but whatever. So I'm just wanted to note that it's like the framing is completely different, but yeah, that might just be like individual variation. It might just be coincidence. Okay.
All right.
was supposed to be spending time together. I'd literally cry myself to sleep every night while he was with her or home after hanging out with her. I even met someone, but I just couldn't open up to that guy because of how much I love my husband. I finally gave in a few months ago. I started letting the new guy take me on dates to his place, etc. He's been so good to me, and that's all I needed after feeling like I'm not enough for my husband. I feel attractive and worthy again. This is so, it's the same thing, right? It's fucking so sad that these open marriages so often start with these men being like, please, 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 and like guilt tripping or coercing their partners into agreeing. Because you're in
Was that?
you love
I think that's reading into it quite a bit. She just said I had room in my heart for more than one woman. You could have said, well, go find her.
Yeah, like
Bye.
you can put your foot down. But
Yeah.
like if you don't want that, because I've been with girls that are like, oh, I think I want to see other people, but like I want to see you too. And I'd just be like, nope, that's not for me. And that was it. It was over. So you just like
Yeah.
just say what you want, and that's it. Like you don't want to be well, if you I don't know. I don't think that open relationships are generally good. And especially for men, it's just like you're just spending twice as much money or more if you're like seeing more women. So, I don't
Think
see
of all
like
the
the
gaming time
even
you're
from the
losing.
most practical way. What?
I said, think of all the time you could be spend gaming instead.
Or just like sleeping. I don't know. Like I mean,
Walking the dog. Anything
yeah,
else but this, dealing with another person's bullshit. Like that's the thing.
but
Like
I don't
no
know.
matter what,
I don't think
when you invite another person into your life, you invite another person's baggage and bullshit. Like it just doesn't, it is inevitable. But I wanted to zero in on her baggage and bullshit. That guy didn't sound like he pressured her. He's just like, wow, this is who I am. How can you judge? It's kink shaming, right? And she went along with it. Apparently, there's no indication that he pressured her. He just asked. And like you said, like Brian said, he could have been just, it's not for me. Goodbye. Or it's not for me. If you want to continue this relationship, you're going to drop that. Right. But anyway, let's find out what happens now that she's got herself a partner and a side piece.
Don't want
These
to
women
lose these men. They love them. They have a life with them. They, want to keep being in their lives and having this relationship. So a lot of the time they are going to, make these compromises and be like, okay, I guess I will because I don't want to lose
that's
you.
the same with
Then they
men.
spend time miserable because they've had to pick between, that or just like not having him at all. And that's like such a difficult and hard thing. And it makes me so sad that these women are in this position, and they obviously, lack a bit of self-worth in the sense that like they deserve better than that, and there are people who, will be monogamous with them. If you
I don't think it's a matter of better. It's a matter of like knowing what you want. I mean, I don't know, they're adults, you make a choice.
Yeah, you make a choice. And they made a choice. And the other thing is that how does this not also apply to men who have partners, female partners who want to open the relationship?
Mm-hmm.
It's the same thing, except the men have the full force of the state. Because we don't have no fault divorce. We have man at fault divorce. Plus all of the discrimination against men when it comes to family courts and domestic violence and sexual assault law. There's a lot of stuff. Like men are behind the eight ball in a bigger way than women are. So, and nobody wants to talk about that except us. Okay, let's keep going.
All right.
What?
You are not someone who wants to be in a polyamorous relationship. You do not have to be. Like, there's nothing wrong with polyamory if that is something that is going to work for you. I have nothing against polyamory. I've made a whole video about polyamory. If you want more of my thoughts on that, you can go check that out. But like, it is not for everyone. And if someone you're in a relationship with wants to open the marriage, you do not have to say yes. If that is something that makes you
I'm pretty sure you know that.
they're making you feel like you have to do it or they're going to leave you, just leave. If that's not for you.
It's not a very good example of coercion. I have room in my heart for more than one woman. Okay, that's not really a good example of coercion. It's not.
No.
Right? So
no, I mean, you literally just have two people that have different ideas on what a relationship looks like. And one of them did not do the work on themselves to figure out if that's what they really wanted. and so they regret it, and now they're the victim of their own naivete.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay, let's keep going.
It never ends well. If one of you isn't into it, it never ends well. You may as well save yourself the heartbreak by leaving before it happens. If they don't take no as an answer, it's over, right? They should always accept a no. Last month, a new guy took me out of town for my birthday weekend. A happy birthday text is all I got from my husband. Since that, it's like my husband suddenly realized that we're married. He wants to spend time together, gets jealous when I'm not home, and now he's saying he wants a baby, which I'm not against, but would like to wait until our relationship is a bit more stable. Well, he disagrees. He thinks that I'm prioritizing my boyfriend over our relationship and family, and that's not what an open marriage is about. He's now wanting to stop everything and go back to being monogamous. I'm not ready for that. He got to decide when this started. Why does he get to decide when it ends? Why did he wait until I started being happy again? Because he's possessive. That's why. He'd want to keep it going forever if you were keeping to yourself and not sleeping with anyone else, right?
Yeah, it sounds like she found herself a narcissist, but let's keep going, I guess.
Yeah, maybe.
There are narcissists.
Yeah, well, wouldn't they also probably be the same kind of people that be interested in open relationships or polyamory?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, 100%. That's why you don't want to get into this. Like, in my opinion, you know, most of the people involved in this are going to be on the cluster B spectrum, and they're going to be involved because they can't handle an actual intimate relationship. So I mean, go into this community at your peril. And yeah, men don't. Like, yeah, it doesn't matter how much you think you want variety. No. Okay.
Yeah,
Just don't.
it's really not that. It's not really that big of a deal.
Right? Like,
Yeah.
these men don't care. These men will want the relationship to be open for as long as they possibly can, as long as their wives are staying loyal only to them. As soon as you're sleeping with other people, they don't want a bar of it because they're possessive and they view their wives as
Yeah, but what about the cucks in the cuck chair?
their property.
Like, what about the men who
I-
fetishize this?
I think that there's also the possibility that this guy made him realize that he didn't want,
He made a
like
mistake, yeah.
that he made a mistake and doesn't want an open relationship, and he does want this woman to be, he wants to be monogamous. I don't know if that was put forward, and maybe she didn't include that in her thing, or if Kiwi's leaving it out or whatever, but that's not manipulative to basically be like, you know what, I thought I wanted this, but I don't want this. You know, that's sort of like growing up, I guess. It's like your preferences change over time. So I would not call it possessive. I think that's a bit of a unfair characterization. Like, if he specifically is saying, well, I should be able to sleep around and you shouldn't, then you still have an option. It's called walking away if you don't like that. But most likely, maybe there should be a conversation about monogamy.
Yeah.
I know that that's
Yeah.
not very, I know it's very boring and vanilla and not cool, but maybe it works. Like, I don't know. I know I don't want to be a stick in the mud saying, maybe you should just stay with one person, but I feel like one person's plenty of work already.
Yeah.
So,
Well, I mean, you yourself, like, as an individual, I think it's a lot of work.
Yeah.
Right. It's and monogamy is the best place to do that work, unless you're in a covenant or a monastery.
Yeah.
So it's, I don't know, like, I think that the people who truly can handle polyamory wouldn't do it. They would have no need to do it.
Well,
at all.
Yeah, I mean, you have to ask, like, what is the, other than just to, like, what, just to be, like, constantly stimulated? I feel like, I don't know, man. I think that there's more to life than that. And I've been around. But yeah, I mean, I'm done. I'm way done with that. That's all behind me. So,
And you're right. It could be a situation where he's now second guessing what's going on, because it sounds like she did indeed pursue.
well, he wants a baby. Like, he's not gonna. I mean, I would hope that he's not so, like, low IQ that he would be like, I'm gonna bring a baby in the world and still be, sleeping with other women. That's ridiculous.
Yeah, I know. But I don't think this relationship is long for the world for this world, because
No.
she has contempt. If she can't forgive him for opening the relationship and then regretting it, and I mean, where's the other girl that he's with now? I mean, it's complete coincidentally completely unmentioned, but that would be important to. Has he's broke it off with her? That's an important detail not mentioned. Okay, let's keep going. Presumably, if she's asking for monogamy, he broke it off with the other girl.
Yeah.
So
doesn't care that you're happy. He cares that other men perceive you and get to touch you. And
okay, that's bullshit. That.
Well, I was going
Rainbow Shade, you don't understand men at all. Stop talking about them. First of all, let's take this.
It's funny because it's like only men do that. Women aren't like that. Women can be possessive too, incredibly. Like it's not a unique male trait. Even if you were telling the truth about that, it's not a male thing. So the way you're painting this picture is like, disingenuous.
Okay, so let's keep going.
All right.
Till this weekend to have a talk with my husband about getting a divorce. I wanted to think about things before ending this 6-year relationship. I still took my distance, stopped having sex and hanging out with him. I've barely talked to him since my last post and refused his gifts. So guess what he did yesterday? Went to New Guy's office and tried to fight him, yelling and screaming about how New Guy sleeps with married women and should be ashamed of himself, making it seem like New Guy was helping me cheat on my husband, which is not the case because it's open marriage. New Guy's
okay, yeah.
He said
you got a narcissist. This is narc behavior. You got yourself a narcissist. This is not the behavior of all men. Rainbow Bright. It's not the behavior, or it's not the behavior of all men. 100% not the behavior of all men. Okay. All right, let's keep going.
Yeah.
Be with me, but doesn't want to have to deal with a crazy husband / soon to be ex. He wants to take a break until I get things figured out with my husband. How am I supposed to do that though? Still planning on getting a divorce, but I can't control my husband. Could this be his way of dumping me? We get another update. We got the divorce process started. Right before that though, my ex-husband was able to meet with my dad, who's always liked him, and told him how I cheated on him, and then insisted on having an open marriage when I got caught. So now I can't even go to my family's house because my dad is mad at me and won't hear me out. Pretty sure he told some of our common friends the same thing because they won't answer my texts. I was able to move into an apartment and now I'm just waiting for things to calm down with my family and for the divorce to be finalized. Oh, and I could lose my job soon because someone left some serious bad reviews on the website and now I'm being investigated.
Wait, what? Yeah, but how does that relate to this?
He's trying to suggest that maybe her ex-husband is like posting, like trying to tarnish her character or something, I think.
Okay.
Because it's like a random thing to add. Or, it's a pity party. And look, all the bad things are happening to me all at once. Oh no, it's the consequences of my actions. Again, you're the one.
If it isn't, even if she has found a narcissist or a sociopath, that is not all men. And the instant you try to make this all men, Rainbow Bright, you are a bigot. This is a subset of men and the behavior of a subset of men. They exist, but they are not all men.
Well, the question though is this the kind of man that this woman is attracted to? Because if it is, then maybe this other guy is also going to be a problem because these are the men. You know what I mean? Like he could be one of these dark triad men that women find so manly and attractive, and then she manages to basically like make it to where he wants to stay, but she's also seeing other men and she's going to go out with other men who she also finds attractive. Like she has a type. So what if this other guy is also that type? So like she's not out of the woods yet because she hasn't figured out like what it is that that she should be looking for in men. She's not. Yeah, she's not looking at
and Rainbow Bright telling us all, oh, this is just men, is not going to help her.
No.
It's not. All right. This is not all men. And I noticed that this dude has not sicked institutions after her yet because he can't, because he's a man. And this is where we'd come in, because if this was a man with a narcissist ex-wife, she would be sicking the institutions on him. All right, let's keep going.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
So I've been home this whole week. I have no one to talk to unless I decide to finally answer my husband's text. Even you guy hasn't been talking to me. So yeah, that's how my life's going. Any advice on how to deal with the loneliness? Bro, this makes me so frustrated. Like, men really do
No!
nothing but the audacity. Starting a
No!
relationship.
No! No! No, Rainbow Bright! It is not men! Okay.
Mm. Well, it's the men that they see.
After having to like guilt someone into opening it in the first place, then getting mad when they start acting on that open relationship to the point where you then go and like ruin their life is so fucked up. You fucking started it, bro. This was your idea. Think about it. If you want an open marriage, think about what that means. Oh my god, men are horrible. They're fucking so horrible. Like, the fact he even went to her
What
dad
the
and
fuck?
turned her family.
Did your
What?
camera freeze? Oh.
No, I froze. You, once again, that flag means everybody but men. Everybody but men, and we are going to scapegoat the crap out of men. We are going to frame the behavior of a tiny subset of men as all men, right? Who are you without your hatred of men and your scapegoating of men and your condemnation of men? Who are you?
Yep.
All right.
Family against her. That's so fucked. The fact her dad won't hear her out is also fucked up. Basically, fuck all the men in this story. Oh my god. The problem with so many of the relationships that exist in these stories is that it's non-monogamy practiced by people who are monogamous. Does that make sense, right? Like, most of them aren't really actually trying to have like healthy non-monogamous relationships. It's largely just men who want to sleep with people and don't give a fuck about their wives.
Cherry
And
pick.
so this is where
Cherry
What?
picked. Well, it's
Well,
cherry
yeah.
picked.
They're obviously cherry picked. Yeah. But also, like, what if monogamy was encouraged because it was safest for men and women? And that trying to explore these other options invite a certain kind of person that wants to take advantage of that. So yeah, you may have a problem with with the men in your story, but maybe those men are, because what we're saying is a subset of men, right? Maybe they're the kind of people that would take advantage of that and create the conditions that basically suggest that your version of polyamory is actually unhealthy because it invites people like this into your life. And maybe if you weren't, another thing too is that this woman, when you get involved in any relationship, only one works, right? All the people that you date in your life, only one works, if that. So this is just a relationship going sour. Guess what? You got to get up and dust yourselves off and get back out there, or don't. But like you can't just wallow in self pity and blame half the human race for your poor choices.
Okay, so between the ages of 18 to 21, women cheat more. And between the ages
Sure.
of 30 to 39, men cheat more. Women in their 60s report having a higher rate of infidelity.
You like cheating on their.
Okay.
Oh yeah, sure.
Yeah. Although the women also in their 60s have their highest rate of infidelity, but then that's probably because, but apparently, let's see. Women are more likely to get away with it.
Mhm.
Also, I really doubt that those statistics. Let's attach women up
What
to a
if
polygraph.
most people who say they're interested in getting into an open relationships or open marriages or whatever are actually just one of two things. Either they're just men that are looking to spread their seed as much as possible, and this is just a way to do that while still having a marriage, which, by the way, if men want an advantage in the dating world, being married is a big plus. Like wearing a ring, that's basically catnip for a lot of women. So it would like there are a kind of man who would want to be in an open relationship because he's looking to essentially have sex with as many different women as possible, and that's it. So he's not really in it because he's interested in treating everybody in that equally, but just because he wants to like play the field still while still having someone that he can come home to, which sounds selfish and all, but I'm saying like if open relationships and open marriages exist, there's probably a decent subset of people that are doing that have that mindset. And in the women's side, it's hypergamy. Like they're with a guy and then they're seeing other guys, and then maybe they'll change their mind about polyamory when they find the right guy that they can like level up to, right? So I think this is why younger women cheat more, because there's more opportunities for vertical like and advancement in like relationships. Find a guy who's got more older, more mature, higher status, whatever, so I'm just going to cheat with him because I'm like 18, I don't know shit. And then the men who cheat more often when they're in their 30s, it's basically the whole like, oh shit, I'm running out of time here, let me like get some more action. Plus men that age are generally more attractive because they have more resources, they've had time to build up some status, and so they can be more attractive to younger women. So just throwing it out there, again, not making generalizations about a whole gender. I'm talking about the subset of people that are most interested or would be more inclined towards being open to these kinds of like polyamorous relationships, right? How would they benefit? I think women do it through hypergamy and men through spreading their seed. So
Mm-hmm. Okay, let's finish this off.
yeah, there's only a little bit left, but
we end up. Like polyamory can be such a good and healthy relationship system and relationship style, and it works really well for so many people.
I don't think so. I think that there's cope here. I think that most of the time they either end in disaster or they end in monogamy. That's usually how I think it goes. So you do it for a little while. Usually, if anything, it just ends up becoming monogamous. They just, oh, you know what? I think I just want to stay with you, and that's it. Or ends in disaster. There was a story of a polycule. I remember this on the news a while back. I'm sorry, I don't remember the names of anybody involved, but there was a video. I think they did like a spot on like some news show, and it was like a woman with like three dudes, and the woman was pregnant with one of the babies, a baby by one of the men. And they were on there talking about how great it was that they were in this polycule and they were all friends and everything. And then, like, I think at some point, one of the men killed that woman's baby because it was from another dude. And it was a disaster. And they were all like, but like I remember that. And
they
I
were
was like,
all
well,
sort of questionable.
They weren't that attractive. They were pretty like, they were like goblins, like all of them. But like goblins, they need a society too, so it's okay. But when that ended that way, I wasn't all that surprised. Like I found out one of the guys killed this woman's baby. And yeah, it was like, well, yeah, it wasn't his. He thought it was. Well, I think he thought it was, and it turned out not to be. So
well, okay, but here's the other thing. Like the individuals were, I mean, what kind of dude is going to be part of a polycule with three other men? There's going to be issues.
Yeah,
like, I always see this. Like I always see this with.
No, I know. I know. It's what I'm saying. Like
always someone is always a psycho.
Right. Well, yeah, probably a couple of them. That's why I'm saying, like, when she says it's perfectly healthy, this is cope, because I'm telling you, okay, I'm not going to say it can't happen, but I think it's very, very few people could manage it. And most of the time, probably 99% of the time, these things end in either monogamy, which is probably the most common way it goes, like, well, or maybe like an opportunity to do it didn't even come up unless you're like part of the, like the Hollywood elite Moloch cult, where they probably do share, each other's like partners, or it just ends in a disaster. Like it just doesn't, like a big crash out breakup where, and I think that we can look at that and say, maybe this doesn't always work. Maybe it mostly doesn't work. Maybe that's not the normal state of people, and it's an outlier. And I think that people like this, they want to treat every choice, every lifestyle, every identity as equal. Like, oh, it's all good, it's all fine, right? And I don't think that's kind of a false bill of goods to sell people.
Yeah. Well, it definitely is. Like, honestly, I don't even, when I look at like, for example, the polygamous like Mormon communities, like the stuff that they do is also, and that's probably the most stable arrangement. And
Are you
yet
talking
they
about
still
where
have to,
it's like multiple wives?
yeah, multiple the sister wives, but then they also have to do things like they kick their sons out of the community. Any surplus sons are basically dumped on the side of the road. And then the other thing is, I'm listening to the women
Yeah,
talk
Mormons
about
are a
this.
cult, basically. I mean, it's like
Well, not all Mormons. Not all
no, but I
Mormons.
mean, they're definitely
The
not.
polygamous Mormons. But I'm
Yeah,
listening to this, and I'm listening to the women talk about this, and they talk about all the benefits of having the sister wives and sharing things, and how they're okay with it. And one woman was like, "Well, I was fine with sharing him because I never fell in love." And it's like, wow, okay, so everything's a business proposition. But here's the other problem: how much? And they were talking about how the wives have to get used to the fact that they're time sharing a man, right? And so they don't get as much time as they want. And I'm thinking, I don't give a crap about the adult women in this scenario. What about his kids? Right? How can these kids possibly have enough fathering to become emotionally and morally independent adults?
yeah,
And the answer is they don't. They don't have enough one-on-one father time to develop normal levels of emotional and spiritual and social independence. That's why these cults continue, because they can replace what a father would give these children with the cult behavior of the community, the inculcation into the cult. And it's like,
yeah,
and the thing is that they will target the men who are on the top of these cults. And what will happen is they'll get rid of them, and the women will find a new dude, because this is driven by the women. And it's driven by incredible selfishness in the women. They didn't even, none of them even said, they were like, oh yeah, sometimes we have to timeshare a man, which means we get a little less of him than we would, whatever, right? Never occurred to them, what about your children? What are your children getting? And
yeah,
it was like listening to them, it was just despicable. And of course they don't care about their children. I mean, some of them eventually left, because some of the women left, or at least one left, because her children were going to be taken from her and trafficked around the community, and she didn't want to see that. She'd only noticed at that point. She only noticed that the children are a commodity at that point. Not when, no doubt, her community was kicking out her sons, or her neighbor's sons, or her sister wives' sons. Only when her daughters were going to be trafficked somewhere was this community treats my children like commodities. You just suddenly noticed that. You didn't notice it when your kid gets like 10 minutes with his father every 2 months? Like, oh shit, that seems a little bit detrimental to the growth of my child. And I'm listening to these people justify their bullshit. And it's astounding. And it continues, because nobody hammers the women. Nobody looks at the women in these Mormon communities and say, you are selfish baby mamas. You are no different than the ghetto. No different in your actual concern for your children than a bunch of baby mamas in a ghetto. Oh God. Okay. Now, polyamory is one thing. And that is the most, like, the polygyny or polygyny of Mormon communities is probably the most stable form of any of this. And it's like, there's a reason why monogamous societies are the ones that generally achieve more. Because we're not just don't even go there. Just like make sure the kids have enough father time and you get much better output, let's say.
Yeah.
All right, I'm gonna get off my podium here about this.
Well, that was basically the end. So
Okay,
now
all
we got
right. So
another thing to do. So we should.
I'm not going to defend this guy. He sounds like a certified psychopath or a narcissist, but he does not represent all men. And that is a problem, that she's basically saying, oh, this guy's all men. No, he doesn't even represent all men legally, right? Because you could say that women's powers in a relationship granted to them by the legal system means all women are like that. It's not that all women will use those powers detrimentally. It's that all women have them. And men, there's no way that a man can not be in a relationship with a woman who's empowered by the legal system, by feminist nonsense when it comes to domestic violence and sexual assault. There's no way. Like, I recently had this discussion with Grok, and I found out that feminists, after the mandatory arrest laws came in that they demanded, the mandatory arrest laws came in and the arrests of women shot up like 1,400%, because police were forced to now arrest the female abusers that they used to let off. So they started arresting them, and then the feminists were like, no, wait, what? And instead of going back to the statistics and saying, well, maybe the conflict statistics tables were accurate and were genuinely reflecting reality, they noped out of all of it, like all of the statistics that said that men and women are equally violent. They said, no, this isn't confirmation of that. No, this is confirmation that the police are biased against women. So they instituted all kinds of policies and oversights, and it was based on this study that found only 12% of women were falsely accused. Whereas studies have been looking into the situation for men. And for example, a man who is abused is more likely to go to jail based on a false accusation by his abuser than she is. So men are horribly biased against. Male victims of domestic violence are horribly biased against in the system initially, and further biased against by feminist policy. And it's like, this is something that men cannot get away from. They can't say, well, you know what? I just won't date a female narcissist. Well, unfortunately, no matter what woman you date, she's still going to have the same powers, the same legal empowerment. So that is a very different than what she's doing. She's saying all men are like this, right? They're not. And that is an incredibly nasty thing to say about men. Okay. All right, let's do it. Let's go into.
All right, so we're gonna be taking an intermission on the. If you're watching this on the horizontal stream, this stream is not going away. I'm just gonna be taking an intermission while we set up for the next half of the show or part of the show. If you're watching on the vertical, this stream is gonna end. So if you're watching on mobile and you're looking at a vertical layout, this stream is going to end, but there will be another one, a new one starting up in a little while.
Before we do that, I just want to remind everyone we are doing, this small. It's a small fundraiser. There's only 420 buckaroos left, and we'd really like to get it done by Sunday because I have other stuff.
Yeah, it's basically because I had to pay for a rental temporarily while my car is being worked on. It is insured, so it's not like I was, irresponsible in that way. But I'm a very defensive driver. But so I didn't get like the rental because it was gonna raise my insurance more. So I have to pay for the rental, which I'm currently driving. It's a temporary car while I'm waiting for my car to be fixed, which needs the whole front replaced because of the freaking deer. So I'm just letting you know that's what it's covering. So, and that way, because it could take them a while, I'm probably going to have to drive the rental to go to Hannah's meetup next weekend, not this weekend, but next weekend. But I will be there with Lindsay, not Jojo, because we can't bring him. We're going to be in a mall. So we've got a sitter to watch him. And then I'm pretty sure I'll have my car back well before the next meetup. So I'll be able to drive it to Canada. So
Okay, but that's the situation that we're dealing with. I have put a link into the horizontal chat. Please, if you are inclined to help him out, go to that link, feedthebadger.com/projects, or no, feedthebadger.com/product/close encounters of the cervid kind, with dashes in between them. And again, the link is in the horizontal stream chat. It's also in the low bar. So maybe take this this intermission as an opportunity to go there, because I know you don't want to leave because we're so engaging in our discourse. But
yeah,
take it as an opportunity to go and help out.
Same goes for you guys on Rumble. Stick around. This stream is not over. So
no, it's not nearly over.
Mm-mm.
We have more thoughtery to engage with, more thoughtery to nullify. And if you're on the horizontal chat, we are just sorry, if you're on the vertical chat, get over the horizontal. All right.
Yeah, get over there.
Okay.
All right, I'm going to go into intermission now, and I'll see you guys in a little while.
Ahem! 9 things that really do make you a better feminist than everybody else. By Megan Murphy. Published September the 11th. Number 1. Being a woman. You can be a very powerful ally to feminists, even if you are a male, but you're never fully going to get the female experience, because women are the group of humans who are oppressed under patriarchy as a class, and men are the dominant group of humans in that system. Women are the ones who must lead the movement towards their own liberation. Being a woman is central to being a feminist, because feminism is a movement that is by and for women. While men are also impacted negatively by patriarchy, masculinity sucks too. In the end, it is men who have always benefited from it, and women who have suffered under it, at the hands of men. The best way to support the feminist movement, as a man, is to challenge other men, male privilege, male entitlement, and male violence. In fact, this is a great help, and saves us the time of having to constantly be explaining to every single man we meet why we are not actually sex toys. You could do all this without calling yourself a feminist. And show don't tell, boys. Number 2. Understanding that feminism is not a feeling or an identity, but a political movement. Feminism is not about wearing a t-shirt that says you're a feminist. It isn't about saying you're a feminist just for the sake of saying it, even if you have no interest in liberating women from patriarchal oppression. It's okay to be new to feminism and to be learning. You don't have to know everything about the movement in order to join, but you do have to understand that it is not a malleable word, a logo, or a marketable product. No one would ever say socialism is whatever you make of it. You do you, bro. What? Well, because that is stupid and also factually incorrect. If you think that objectifying women, or street harassment, or male entitlement, or gender stereotypes, or sexualizing violence against women is good and okay, you aren't a feminist. Taking a selfie, or getting married, or wearing stilettos, or making a bunch of money does not equate to feminism. Yet feminists are allowed to do these things. See how that works? Because feminism isn't about you as an individual feeling personally good or empowered in the moment. You can feel empowered, but that doesn't necessarily produce feminism. Similarly, feeling good does not equate to empowerment. Empowerment, in the context of feminism, means social empowerment for a group of marginalized people, in this case, women. This is why, for example, posing nude and feeling sexy in a fashion or porn magazine might feel good for the individual doing it. They will receive positive reinforcement, feel attractive, profit financially, etc., but does not constitute empowerment, as it does not lift up women as a class. Number 3. Cutting out this anti-intellectual bullshit. OMG, you guys! Thinking is not a bad thing. Of course, you don't need a degree to do feminism, shish, but by the same token, all this fuck your ivory tower ideology, fuck theory, fuck yeah stuff is counterproductive and ignorant. There is no activism without ideology. Ideology is the body of ideas that frames a political movement. We need that. Otherwise, how the fuck do we know what we're doing? What's that? We're just taking selfies and shouting intersectionality at each other on Twitter? Good then. Fuck ideology, fuck movements, fuck yeah! Likewise, understanding the history of the movement is a good thing. It ensures we don't reinvent the wheel over and over again. It ensures we don't rewrite history, effectively erasing the work and activism of thousands and thousands of women who fought for the rights we enjoy today. Understanding how to think critically, understanding feminist ideology, understanding feminist history. These things are not for snobbish elites. These are things that are foundational. Otherwise we achieve nothing. And we are left blindly screaming slut power into the virtual abyss. Education and academia are not bad things, they are good things. They've been made inaccessible to so many people throughout the world and/or have left many of us with a crippling debt. But education is not the problem, the system is. Free post-secondary school is a feminist issue. Hashtag it. Number 4. Understanding that feminism is not about being politically correct. Please don't misunderstand me on this one. Being a feminist means one must be thoughtful about one's words and actions. Saying and doing whatever the fuck we want, whenever we want, is selfish, irresponsible, and juvenile. But our efforts to avoid being self-indulgent, offensive teenagers need not lead to political correctness. Being a feminist means you think critically about the world around you. You take nothing at face value, and you question the status quo. You tell the truth, even if that truth makes people uncomfortable. Change makes people uncomfortable. Questioning dominant ideology makes people uncomfortable. Being politically correct means making sure you don't piss anyone off. It means you toe the party line. That party line might well be a progressive or liberal party line. It might even be a party line that some have deemed feminist, but it's still a party line. The moment you stop thinking for yourself, start repeating mantras your peers repeat without thinking about whether or not the mantra actually makes sense, stop being brave, stop questioning the ideology and message behind popular discourse, is the moment you become not an agent of change, but a lemming. So many feminists today are scared to say anything controversial, and it's depressing as fuck. Young feminists are afraid to speak out or question popular discourse, lest they be labelled bigots or some version of phobe. Instead of pushing back, we've become pushovers. Dissent is a good thing. Your ability to think for yourself and to question ideas that are assumed to be correct is critical. Fuck being politically correct. Wow. Right. Number 5, not being ageist. At what point did ageism become acceptable in feminism? Oh right, the third wave. Okay, so I understand that rebellious teenagers want to, "You're not my real mom," slams door, their elders. But we are not rebellious teenagers, we are adults. And if you are a feminist, it is unacceptable to make second wave an insult. That is some woman-hating, anti-feminist ageist garbage. And if you want to pull that shit, congratulations, you're doing patriarchy. Keep your ignorance, and keep perpetuating sexist notions as women who are no longer youthful, are silly, old-fashioned, prudish fuddy-duddies clutching their pearls all the way to the old folks' home, where they can stick to bingo. But know that you're no feminist. Older movement women know more than you do. We aren't going anywhere without them. Number 6. Not accusing feminists of hating sex and men like it's a bad thing. Women are allowed to hate men and sex. Hating men and sex is perfectly natural. Men and sex with men has been a source of trauma for countless women over centuries. It is also perfectly natural to love particular men and enjoy having sex. None of these realities are things that should be used by feminists to insult, attack, or dismiss other feminists. By accusing feminists who challenge male violence of hating sex or hating men, you are reinforcing heteronormative garbage and feeding into stereotypes that say feminists are just angry because they aren't getting fucked enough. These tropes are connected to rape culture. It is the idea that men can fuck women into passivity or fuck them straight. It's the idea that only fuckable women are real women. It's the idea that women need men in order to be whole beings and to matter. That they only exist in relation to men. These are anti-feminist ideas. Whether or not a woman likes men or sex has no bearing on her worth, and whether or not her life, ideas, words, or activism has meaning. What feminism fights against is the very idea that women's relationships to men are what make them visible and valuable as humans. It's similar to attacking a woman by saying she's ugly. Women don't exist to be looked at or to fuck men. They get to exist all on their own. Take your lesbophobic sexism back to the MRA forum. They'll love you there. Number 7, not being an MRA. Speaking of MRAs, you know what definitely makes you a better feminist than everyone else? Fighting for women's rights, not men's rights. And by that I mean, rather than fighting for the rights of men who want to pay for blowjobs, try fighting for women's human rights, which include the ability to pay rent and feed themselves without having to provide men with blowjobs. An often overlooked but pivotal aspect of feminism is the idea that women are human. That's right, we're radical like that. And because we are human, we deserve things like food and water and housing.
All right, we're back, or we're
Hi.
starting, depending on how you look at it. And welcome to the show. This is continuation, or the part 2. Was this ring really cursed? Trad thought slap fights on Twitter/X. So we're going to be looking at, let me get the original tweet, post, whatever they call it. So if you are unfortunate enough to be on X, you might have seen this going around. Then there's this conservative commentator. I kind of hesitate to say it, but her name is Sarah Stock. And she made a post on X simply titled, or it just says, "I won," and it's a picture of her hand with an engagement ring on it in a field of flowers. And this started a flame war amongst all of the trad thought women on X. I don't know if you know, but Sarah Stock was, I believe, this woman, she kind of like came out of nowhere. She was on a Jubilee episode, and she was part of one of those like panels, which is like, you know, one person versus 20. It was like 1 versus 20. You ever seen those, Allison? I think I feel like we did a video on it. Yeah.
Well, I mean, I know of them. I probably could know more about them, but yeah, I know of them.
Yeah. She basically like was a part of one of those panel discussions, those like 20 verses, and I think that she was on, like, it was like Sam Cedar was the guy in the middle, and she was one of the people who confronted him. I'm bringing that up because so we know like why anyone gives a shit about what this woman says, because she was a blonde white woman that is right wing, and I don't mean like in a normal conservative way, but kind of like one of these dissident right, like paleo con types that has basically like risen up in the last like 5-6 years or so, and so that's her whole thing, right? And there is a lot of fracturing, a lot of infighting going on the non-left. That's why I call it the non-left, because they don't know what they stand for. They're fighting each other about what it should look like, and because there is no unified force, it's just like everybody else. So anyway, she made this post and it caused a lot of a stir. Now, I don't know what the timeline is. Most people appear to be like just generally happy for her. You can see, you know, Uber Soy says, "Powerful, glad I'm the husband." So I guess this is the guy. "Congrats, marriage is amazing." That's Charlie Kirk. Rachel Wilson, congratulations. So yeah, most people are fine, but then like, I don't know, was this what you sent me? Is this in order? Do you want to talk about this? I mean, I see this as a flex, basically, but
yeah, it's a flex. We can get into that in just a moment. Again, I want to remind everyone, feedthebadger.com/justthetip. If you want to send us a comment and a tip, talk about what we're talking about. I know that this is what's on everybody's lips, and I figure it's maybe a good to look at because it sort of illustrates something. Women on the right part of the spectrum aren't necessarily men's friends, and they are still in that sphere where things are defined by competition with other women, which doesn't mean like women who criticize other women aren't necessarily pro male. Well, that sounds like maybe that's a controversial thing to say. And in terms of this particular tweet, I'm not going to say that, like Sarah Sock is a bad person, but honestly, she had to know that she was getting on the highest ground in the vicinity. She's getting onto the mound and saying, "Come at me, bro," to all of the women on Twitter. Now, some of them were just like, "Oh, congratulations," but this is a challenge. And when she says, "I won," what did she win? Right? This is a challenge. Now, I mean, personally, I wouldn't be like, I probably would have congratulated her. I mean, it's not really my thing. Like, I don't like to throw things out in public like this necessarily, like personal stuff. And but I mean, I certainly wouldn't flock in and start slinging mud, which we will see when you look at the retweets, Brian. But on the other hand, like, I don't like, she did go into this with a competition mentality. Like, what did she win? Sure. And who did she win as opposed to other women? And I understand like the desire to do it because there's so much pushback against seeing women who get married as actually having achieved something rather than just being duped into something. So there's that element. But when you throw your hat in the Twitter ring, this will result in it. And of course, it's interesting to look at it because, again, women who judge and criticize other women don't necessarily care about men. And I think that there's some merit to what Pearl ends up saying, but we'll get to that. So let's look at the retweets and have a look.
All right. So is this the let me see. Are you talking about this one?
Yeah, no, not the retweets. Go back to her.
You mean the replies?
Yeah.
You can't look at the. Can you look at the?
No,
retweet?
you can. You look at the three dots. Look at the three dots. Up, up, up. Go up, 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 up. See the three dots there? Yeah. View post engagements. You didn't know this about Twitter?
No, I didn't.
Yeah, there you go.
Okay. All right. So every trad simp seeing this post, it should have been me, not him. Please be Indian from the slums of Mumbai. So they're trying to like, okay, this is what I've been talking about. Look up for them. Pause. Those big hands, I guess. Pearl pictured wedding ring, not pictured the man. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, to be honest, that is she does have a point. However, I would give Sarah Stock some leeway because that was a ring that her fiance made her, and she got the diamond from her grandma. So it was something that was very personal.
Yeah.
And then, but of all of the criticism, I think Davis's criticism is probably the most on point. She's making this about competition with other women.
When one of them posted engagement pic, it's cats fighting.
Yeah. Look at this.
Here we go. That small ass ring, LMAO.
Yeah, that's what it became about. Like the size of her ring.
Stone. Yeah.
Even though the ring was very personalized, like her fiance made it for her, which is, I think that's pretty exceptional. I probably, personally, I probably would have emphasized that, but maybe with a picture of the forging of the ring, make it into an epic. But yeah, that's but yeah, so a whole bunch of other women swanned in and talked about how
Oh my
her
God.
yeah.
Miss Cherry Perez. I just want to show off my ring since everyone is raging about ring sizes. She's showing off her ring.
Yeah. So then it becomes about a competition between women over which one of their partners is. Oh, and here we go. We got the feminist piping up.
Yeah, Rowena, a lifetime of servitude is not winning, sweaty, but you'll find out in due time, like most wives eventually do. Very
Okay,
nice.
so
Very supportive.
yeah, like in honestly, again, time use studies, and I've done multiple analyses of them using Grok. So they will, for example, the research will present a particular facet of time use studies, but time use studies don't include difficult tasks like major repairs around the house, mechanical repairs. I also don't think they include like small appliance repairs, so computer repairs or anything like that, which are things that are commonly done by men. And so I actually drilled down into those studies on time use. And first of all, it's only even the ones that don't look at the full picture of everybody's time use, even those ones still find that it is a pretty small difference between what women do and what men do in Western countries, like maybe half an hour a week in favor of women. But when you start drilling down into the studies and you ask things like, okay, we'll add in all of the major repairs, all of the small appliance repairs and mechanical work that men do. And then you say, okay, add in the commuting time, which is something else that it doesn't include. All right. And then add in the amortization of workplace death. So, for the most part, when men are working, they're working very different jobs than women. They're working dangerous, uncomfortable, incredibly stressful jobs. So, what I did is I said to Grok, okay, estimate how many years men lose to stress-based stress-based illnesses, not just the total amount that men live less than women, but just stress-based illnesses due to jobs. And Grok estimated about 1 to 2 years. I think that's per man. And then we amortize that 1 to 2 years over the working life of the average man. And what ended up happening is when you include everything, excuse me, the types of repairs that men do, so the whole scope of the domestic stuff that men do, the whole scope of the commuting, and the whole scope of what men lose to be primary providers, the gap in hours drastically shifts in favor of men. So men are now doing 10 hours a week more than women when you include in all of those factors. And yeah, so honestly, a husband is a really good investment for a wife. I don't know if we really want to look at it in those terms, but certainly we shouldn't think that she's losing out. And it gets even better if she stays at home, because stay-at-home wives, and this is all stay-at-home wives, even those with children, work half as much as every other person in society. Now, I'm not going to say that that isn't worth it to the families that do it, right? That's their choice. And maybe they prefer an unstressed woman who is the primary caretaker of the children. That's their business. But there is no way you can frame that as some kind of horrible imposition on women when they are gaining an extra 25 hours a week to do with as they will. That's not an imposition, nor should it be framed as such. So this feminist, wrong. I should have just said that. It's wrong.
In short, she is wrong.
Wrong.
Right.
She is wrong.
All right.
All right.
So Nafir here, and I think this is a woman, says friendly reminder to book a manicure appointment for your girlfriend before you propose. So this is like, a very like backhanded comment about the ring because she's showing off her hand too. And of course, Nafir has words about her manicure, I guess. Pearl again retweeted and said, "Hottest right-wing e-girl taken off the market." And this, and when I think honestly, Sarah Stock being the hottest right-wing e-girl, that's just kind of like, um, she was in fashion for a little while because she was on Jubilee like twice, and she said like the most like I guess base things according to the paleo cons, but even then, like, I don't know, I wouldn't call her the hottest. But anyway, hottest right-wing e-girl taken off the market. Conservative women will always use their marriage and family to build their brand. And I think there's some truth to that.
Yeah,
Um,
there's truth to it.
yeah. Rachel Wilson defends her. She says instead of congratulating her, there are idiot basement dwellers telling her to log off the internet. The people who are supposed to be right-wing traditionalists who want to see the return of family are pestering her and telling her to get off the internet. Are you guys stupid?
Mm,
And most of those are women. So I know that she says basement dwellers, but I don't think that that means men. So
yeah, I mean, no, I mean it's not the most egregious of things to ever for a person to have ever done,
mm-mm.
right? It's definitely not the most egregious of things. However, this is maybe get off the violence because we're going to get yeah. Um however, and there is some room for comment and criticism, I think. Not as much as she did get, but
Mm.
however, she did, find the highest ground in the vicinity and basically say, "Come at me, bro." So,
Yeah.
you know,
No, I
just
get it's a flex. That's what I'm saying. Like she's
yeah,
like this is like social media Call of Duty for women. She got like what do they call it? Like a multi kill or something. Like a like a quintuple kill, and she's sharing the highlight on her page to flex on the other women, and some of them are reacting poorly because this is intersexual competition,
yeah,
mate suppression, whatever, right? And
yeah,
some of them are going to react as jealous trad thoughts, and some of them are going to react as angry feminists.
mhm,
Most of the negativity is other women, though. I mean,
yeah,
most of the men are either indifferent or they're joking about the fighting from what
yeah.
I've seen. So it is just women. So
Okay, yeah,
yeah,
it is mostly women. Also, yeah, I don't think it's deserved. Certainly not this.
no.
And
Why is it so
again, like
small? Lol. Zintani.
this is I think that again Pearl has the most on point criticism,
Hmm.
and but at the other hand we're dealing with an entire society that just marginalizes women marrying men and treats them like dupes instead of having actually achieved something. So I can understand it that she wanted to be like, no, I've achieved something, I've done something that's worth celebrating and worth being lauded for. So I get that. Like a personal style wouldn't do it, but like it's not of all the unwholesome things on the internet. This
Right.
is one of the least unwholesome, guys. And a lot of this criticism is just absolutely bitter and
Oh, for sure.
nasty and just ridiculously so. Like, why is it so small? So, what is this engagement ring shaming? Like we got the small penis shaming, and now we got this small engagement ring shaming. Is this the new thing now? The new bullying? Um,
Yeah.
actually, go
Oh,
back. There was one that I wanted to do. Oh God. Oh good
what?
Lord.
What? This one or women these
Mm,
days only want to get married? They don't want to be wives.
okay, so there was a little bit of pushback from individuals who are more on the right end of the spectrum. I mean, it
Oh
is
yeah.
something to
Well,
consider.
it's a
Yeah,
common thing that like there's a saying that women want weddings, but that doesn't mean they want to be wives. Because when
yeah.
you
I mean,
when
I
you get a
said something.
wedding, you're the center of attention for it's your whole
Yeah,
day. You ever seen those like what do they call them the reality show with the housewives that are like planning their wedding or not housewives, but they're like brides something brides I forget what it's called, but they like throw tantrums, over, and they have these very
Bridezillas.
specific Bridezilla. That's right, Bridezillas. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and I mean, she did put a post where she said, "Is there married women? Is there anything you'd want to consider about? Tell me about your marriage
Where?
day." And it was on
Weddings.
her actual timeline, and I basically said, "Well, you're marrying a man, not a ceremony, but that's about it."
Yeah.
Not that it necessarily would that she's necessarily doing that, but just that's about all the advice I can give on
Mm-hmm.
weddings. All right. So that was Pearls. Now let's take a listen to that other individual that I sent you. Let me get her name.
Is it this? I got the links ready. Is it this one? When to be a
Yes.
hater? Okay.
I think so.
Emily
Yeah.
Gold digs America. Unmarried best friend who is apparently a Make America Hot Again representative decided to make a video detailing all of the possible reasons to hate on other women's engagement rings.
I basically have a degree on how to be a hater at this point, so let me share some tips. When to be a hater, specifically the rules of engagement ring. No, I don't have a ring, so I'm allowed to be a hater. And yes, I do send your engagement pictures around to my friends and usually talk shit. Sometimes you deserve it. Anyway, rule number 1, let them be happy. No, it hurts. If someone has their little ring and they're happy with that, let them be happy. They married for love, okay? Remember that when you visit them in their shack down the road. I'm kidding. Be a hater. Conditions do apply here. Number 1, did they come for you first? If you want peace, you should have stayed silent. If they talk shit and it got back to you, gossip is a boomerang, baby girl. If she accepted a $37 ring, someone has to marry the loser, so let them live. That man is already struggling with poverty as it is. Don't be a hater because don't get me wrong, I am sending that photo around in my group chat, but that one's kind of mean. I kind of disagree with number 4, but I'm too lazy to edit the video. Number 5, here's the thing, it's always the former mean girl who's posting her tiny ass ring and it shows that karma is real. If she used to be mean, you can go for her. You can come for her all you want. They're probably celebrating mediocrity.
Oh God.
I feel like I'm having
I think she thinks this is satire or comedy, but it just comes across as really mean-spirited and
well, maybe it
bitter.
was intended to be satire of the original lists.
Player haters ball. That reminds me of the Dave Chappelle sketch, the player haters ball.
It's just like a window into a mind that I is very unfamiliar.
Yeah.
It's like a stitch in the space-time continuum, and I'm looking at an alien world.
Mm-hmm.
This is shit that women do with each other, huh? Why would you want female friends? Why do you want to open your life to this? If you're a lesbian, you have no choice, presumably, unless you are a political lesbian, in which case people do a lot of things that are absolutely self-destructive in the name of their politics. So enjoy. But why would you choose to let this into your life in any context whatsoever? Answer for yourselves, women. Now, I know this isn't all women, but Jesus Christ, this behavior is so freaking prevalent. And do the women who are not like this, do they lean on their sisters not to do this crap? I've been watching the Alexander Gray stuff, and I've seen things like groups of women mocking men. They'll one of them will get texts from a paramour, and she'll read them out loud, and they'll all the dozen, to an audience of a dozen of her closest friends, and they'll all be laughing. But apparently women also do this to other women. This is not just turning men off of women. This is turning women off of women. Because I don't want to open myself up to this shit. I do. To be quite honest, on Twitter. Just a couple of days ago, I got into a slap fight. I was like, this is a slap fight of the mids. This is the war of the mids. Because it was me against another girl who was telling me that I was harassing a beautiful, rich princess. And I'm like, no, you're a mid. Just like me. We're mids. You're a mid in the mid kingdom. Like I am also. And she was like, And she had other trophies in her belt of other mid girls that she had gone after, even though she is also mid. So I retweeted that and I said hunter of her own kind, mid going after mid. But there's the thing, like, this is what is, and again, I didn't start this until she started the shit, right?
Yeah.
But then I did bring the shit, so that's on me. But regardless, like, this is behavior that's just really off-putting. And there's no council of non-juvenile women grabbing these women's ears and shaking them and saying, stop doing it. There's no oversight. Of course, it is Twitter, so there's no oversight, period. It's just a ball of rage. Okay.
I mean, there are some women that are like coming to her defense, to be fair.
Yes.
And they're saying that these other women are being mean or they're jealous or whatever. So there is something of a support network, but it's not like top down or anything like that.
No.
So, no.
But the other thing is that women do this and they don't seem to realize how badly it reflects on them. Like, or maybe they do. Who knows? Maybe they're just being bitchy for their own sake.
Men aren't going to say anything because they're not allowed to. So.
Oh, right. He said something about her. I was a little bit disappointed with that. Like, she's bragging a bit, but honestly, I would have led with the story of the engagement ring because it's pretty cool. Like, using silver that her father or her husband, he actually salvaged it, I think, and he made the cast and he used her grandmother's diamond. That's cool. I would have led with that, but she led with what she wanted to, and certainly the response is ridiculous. But on the other hand, she's also, come at me, bro, in the original tweet. So
yeah, sure.
What can you do?
I think that's what it was. Let me play the rest of this clip.
I reacted accordingly. And number 7, if you simply feel like it. Not every hater has a trigger. Some of us are just freelance, honestly. Just remember, be happy for other people, but like, exceptions do apply. You can come for people.
Come for people for what? Again, this is encouraging that toxic competition between women that's destroying relationships between men and women. And it actually isn't that men are losers or that are significantly worse than men in the past, because get this, the men today did all of the work, are a result of men in the past doing all of the work that women asked them to do, to relinquish their spaces, to relinquish their successes, to relinquish all of this stuff. These young men are a product of that. And yet women don't want them. And you know what it is? It has nothing to do with men's lack of spiritual or emotional maturity, or I don't see young men being any less immature or any more immature than young women. It has nothing to do with that. It is this toxic competition between women. That is what it is. There is no control over it. And most churches, no offense, do not have the capacity to control it. The woke establishment does not have the capacity to even recognize it. So there's no control over it. And our society is being torn apart, not because men are losers, but because women are engaging in this level of toxic competition with each other. And they cannot leave it alone, right? Everything has to be about insulting or appropriating or creating resources, clout, attention, whatever. It's all these claws tearing at everything, and nothing can be built, right? Now, once again, I would say Pearl has the closest to any kind of a reasonable statement, at least her first one. But the rest of this is nonsense, and it's all just female competition. And like, I remember going on one of Pearl's secondary streams, and I brought up that this current landscape has almost nothing to do with men. I know people really struggle with that. Has nothing to do with men. And this is why men can't solve it, because it has nothing to do with them. It is about toxic female competition. And when the urge to Gurge, as I call it, gets into these women, there is nothing men can do. Nothing. Because she wants a man who all her friends are going to be jealous of. And the only man that applies to is men who are above her and men who are desired by multiple women, which is not the average man. What are you going to do? And it can never be the average man, because if the average man, if we waved our wand and turned all men into Chad, women in competition with other women would develop an even more fine-tuned list to target the top 10% of the Chads in order to make each other jealous. The problem is the competition between women. And what are men supposed to do about that? Like, if every woman wants to be carting, like, has to have a wheelbarrow to cart around her damn freaking engagement ring because it's the size of an elephant's testicle, what can men do? Right? This has nothing to do with them. Maybe they can start creating those things. Maybe we can blast open some more mines in Africa, like mountains in Africa, and send, 12-year-old boys who are starved down to the size of a 6-year-old into those mines to grab those freaking diamonds for you, ladies. Maybe we could do that. But then the diamonds the size of an elephant's testicle won't be enough. There'll have to be a diamond the size of a small asteroid, or a diamond the size of a small satellite. Right? It's never enough, because it's always a moving target. This jealousy and this grasping jealousy creates everything, becomes a moving target. And men cannot do anything. They cannot fulfill this. It is impossible. All right. Okay, calm down.
All right. No, that's fine. So, yeah, there's a lot of support in the comments. Again, positive comments from Chrissy Mayer, Rachel Wilson, Robin. I feel like I know this person, but I don't know if I know them. So there is some of that. But is there something else you want me to bring up? Look at?
Okay, so is this supposed to be satire, or is this the kind of thing where they do believe it genuinely and then they just post it and it's, oh, yeah, this is actually not? I mean,
well, no, I think the
criticize
supportive
me, it's not
comments are
funny.
supportive of Sarah Stock, but I
Yeah.
think this woman is legit, like trying to be a hater, but trying to make it into a joke to give them enough, plausible deniability. So that this is the way women work, though, right? This, like,
Okay,
did you
so
catch any duper's delight in the video when you were watching it? I think there is.
okay, well, I'd have to look at it again a little more closely. Let's see.
Want me to play it? See if it's in there?
Sure.
Okay.
Like, I basically have a degree on how to be a hater at this point, so let me share some tips. When to be a hater, specifically the rules of engagement ring. And no, I don't have a ring, so I'm allowed to be a hater. And yes, I do send your engagement pictures around to my friends and, like, usually talk shit. Sometimes you deserve it. Anyway, rule number 1, let them be happy.
Why?
No, it hurts. If someone has their little ring and they're
So
happy,
you see how
with it,
this
let them
works,
be happy.
right?
They married
If
for
a woman is
way.
going to be
Remember
married,
that
she
when you
knows
visit
this
them
is
and
going to
they're
happen. She knows this is going to happen. She knows her engagement pics are going to be traveling the femosphere, and everybody's going to get their beak out to make their freaking little peck at it, right? All the hens are going to gather to peck it to death. And so what happens to her relationship with her man? What if he isn't capable of getting a diamond the size of an elephant testicle?
Mm-hmm.
And she knows all of her queenie friends are going to be all over that like white on rice. Where does the resentment flow? Do you think she's got the fucking balls to tell this bitch out and say, stuff it? No. The resentment is going to flow towards her husband or her future fiance. And that's what's really devilish about all of this. This is something that is 100% generated by the femosphere. This jealousy, this gimlet-eyed resentment towards what any other woman gets that you don't get is 100% generated by the femosphere. It is 100% a moving target. And women will 100% turn around and take all of the shit they get from their sisters and dump it on men. And men are supposed to continually absorb this resentment, continually take it on, and are they expected to rise up to it? Does she? Well, is she going to be dumped on her by her sisters because her engagement ring is the size of a baseball rather than an elephant testicle? Well, you better work those 70-hour weeks, those 80-hour weeks, those 90-hour weeks, so you can afford a ridiculously sized engagement ring so that she can compete with her friends who will always find something to bitch about. This is utterly toxic. Right? This is utterly this individual is utterly destructive. And again, nothing that the woman whose name is escaping me. Oh, good Lord. I've lost my mind.
Sarah Stock?
Okay. So, yeah, nothing that she did deserves this.
No.
But again, like you did go come at me, bro. But still, nothing she did deserved it.
Down the road. I'm kidding. You hate her. Conditions do apply here. Number one, did they come for you first? If you want peace, you should have stayed silent. If they talk shit and it got back to you, gossip is a boomerang, baby girl. If she accepted it.
Yeah, I think I saw it there. Like, look at her. That right there.
Yeah. Oh,
is that it?
Lord.
It's like kind of a crooked grin.
Learn compersion, ladies. Learn to take pleasure in the triumphs of your friends. Learn to celebrate the triumphs of your friends. Right? Learn to feel like if your friends are getting a good life, not necessarily a rich life or whatever mean-spirited list of crap that you have, if they are getting the life that they want, feel happy for them. Like, this is such ugliness. And again, we put it on men. All of these commentators are saying, oh, the male loser epidemic. Oh, man up and be. Yeah, no. First of all, moving target. All men can't be the top 10% of men that can make this woman's female friends jealous. Like, it's just not possible. And also, this is on women.
Yep.
Okay.
All right. Well, that was it. I just want to share that. So what should we look at next?
We could look at the stuff with Pearl, but again, Pearl wades into it as well. Like, I think same thing applies with Pearl, possibly even more so, because this isn't her first rodeo.
So this is a different. Oh yeah, they're sharing. This is another person sharing their ring as a means of like countering, I guess. So and it says, "Heck yeah, I'll post ring. I don't know anything. I think it's a carat or just under. Looks good on my hand, and a guy I love bought it for me. It's the most beautiful thing I've ever worn." And then Pearl again, pictured ring, not pictured husband. And we have John Davis, how bourgeois. So, well, yeah, people generally. I mean, the people who comment on somebody's main post are generally in support of that post most of the time. Except for me.
This is a better
haters,
this is a better use of Pearl's acid tongue, I think, right here, as opposed to on Sarah, because like Sarah, again, that ring is now an heirloom because of the way it was crafted. So like props for that, and and this woman is bullshit. You don't know how many carats. I bet you know how many carats are to like the 0.10th of a gram.
Yeah.
It's like quail egg plus like inset. Okay. Yeah. All right. So
okay,
this is a better use of Pearl's venom, which is women who look at this in terms of competition with other women, their relationship in terms of competition with other women. And what gets really creepy is a lot of these women just get into relationships with men out of competition with other women. It has nothing to do with the man, and not even much to do with the man's virtues. Like if we all lived in caveman land and the top 10% of men just had the nicest like freaking rock, then that would be the standard, right? It's not,
Yeah.
it really does nothing to do with men. It's just the top 10%. That's it. And I hope I don't have to explain this mathematically. That is not a functional society. All right. Okay.
No.
Okay.
All right. So Myron Gaines, he had something to say. This is
Okay.
Myron Gaines from Fresh and Fit, and he says he basically used a screenshot of Sarah Stock's photo and this woman's comment, "Why is it so small? LOL." Isabella Maria De Luca, just another woman that was basically commenting on the size of the rock. And Myron says, "Women are their own worst enemies." It says West enemies, but I think he meant worst.
Mhm.
Sarah Stock got proposed to, and I see multiple trad grifting thoughts like Isabella De Luca and at Emily Saves USA trying to throw shade in the comments. I'm extremely critical of women and feminism, but I will never insult a woman for doing her job, finding a man and creating a nuclear family. As for the rest of you single hoes, I will continue to cook you for being single and unable to find a man you actually want, not a loser, that will actually marry you. I'm going to continue cooking you thoughts. Congrats, Sarah. So
Yeah, well,
basically use it as an opportunity to this is kind of a male flex though. Like, look at me, I'm going to cook you guys and I'm going to call you out for being losers. But I guess he's like lowering himself to their level, or he's at their level. And that's like his approach. So unfortunately though, because he's a man, I don't think it has the same effect.
no.
Although Sarah Stock did say
I don't know
LMAO, thanks
what.
Myron.
I don't know what will have an effect. Like,
Yeah.
yeah. Okay, so just go back up. Honestly, the thing is
This or
that well to his statement, because there's one thing I wanted to say. As well as you single hoes, I will continue to cook you for being single and unable to find a man you actually want, not a loser, that will actually marry you. Okay, in order for these single hoes to do that, they would have to abandon or have the balls to stand up to the sisterhood and its toxic competition. Because that's I'm guessing is one of the big reasons why women aren't settling, is because they're thinking of that moment when their engagement picture gets shared around, or maybe their picture of them and the fiance gets shared around among the circle of harpies, and what they're going to say. Oh, you settled for that? Oh, what a loser. He's only 6'5". My boyfriend's 17 feet tall. He only gave you an engagement ring that you can barely, you have to carry your arm in a sling. Well, my engagement ring, I require an entire team of porters to move my arm. You know, like that kind of shit.
mm-hmm.
Like, and women are thinking about that, right? They're thinking about that moment where they have to expose their hopes and dreams to the sisterhood and have them pecked to death. And again, what the hell are men supposed to do with all that? What are they going to do? Except become sponges for the inevitable resentment.
Yep.
All right.
Richard BR gave us a super chat for $5 and says, "Should we be ordering an extra Earth kit from IKEA at this point? We need another
Earth
Earth."
kit?
Yeah, an extra Earth, because you said
Oh, yeah, that's
women's.
right. Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh, might need quite a few more
I don't know if
Earths.
IKEA makes those.
So the Great Indoors put in $75 to your fundraiser.
Oh,
So
thank
thank
you.
you.
Appreciate
Yep.
that.
So we have $385 left.
All right.
And the end is Sunday. So if you are able to help, please put something through. Unfortunately, I have to actually manually accept the pledges, so it just takes a moment for things to update. Maybe pop it on the screen there. Do you have a link?
I can get one. Hold on.
Okay. And
Let me
let
just.
people see it. I was
Yep.
thinking about going through all of the women who were calling, saying that Pearl sucks, you know, black cock and that kind of thing. And
Yeah.
but I don't know. Pearl, you know what you're getting
They were just
into.
attacking her in some
Yeah,
like
yeah. And the funny thing is that hers was probably the most legitimate criticism. It is something that,
yeah.
Sarah should genuinely keep in mind,
Well,
that
maybe
you're
that's why they
marrying a
didn't like
man.
it. Yeah.
Yeah, you're marrying a man and not a ceremony or a state, like being a wife, that kind of thing. And that's something that's legitimate, I think. Now I know that, Pearl knows she's waiting in on it, and I think that, to be fair, this story of this particular engagement ring sort of softens that when it comes to Sarah. So that's why I said, that other ring with the quail egg sized diamond, that woman most definitely knows how many carats are of, even though she's
Yeah.
like humble bragging. I
Oh, I
don't
don't
even know.
know. It's just
Oh,
like
I don't
whatever.
even know.
I don't
Whatever.
care
I don't
about
even
that
think
kind of
about
thing.
it.
But here's a picture though, but I don't really care.
I don't really care. It's not about the size of the ring, but it is quite big. Like that definitely, that is definitely deserving of Pearl's acid tongue. Sarah, like I said,
Yeah.
it's not the most unwholesome thing I've seen. All
Yeah, for
right.
sure.
So okay, so there's that. Oh wait, no, we're at no,
Did I
it's actually
refresh it?
300 and
45.
45 dollars left. I was incorrect. I was mathing wrong. Sorry. I need to
All right.
breathe.
You need to breathe. Oh, Allison dropped. She dropped out. She'll probably be back. In the meantime, well, I wanted to get to the chaser, but yeah, there's a lot of rage. This basically became like a thing that lasted for a few days. And of course they went after Pearl's like, you know, boyfriend choices, but I don't think it's because like here, let me see if Allison is back. She's back. Okay, hold on. I gotta plug your camera back in. People can't hear you right now. So just give me a second. I gotta plug you back in. Yep. Yeah, basically. All right. So you should be there it goes. Okay.
All
Okay.
right. Hello again. I
Yeah.
accidentally hit the button that logs
Closes
me out
it.
of the call. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that was dumb. Sorry, guys.
No, it's okay.
Um yeah, so that's and then Pearl got shit, but she's got to know that that's what's going to happen.
Well,
But she
yeah. Well,
basically
what I was saying is that I think that the women competing again, it's like I said, it's Call of Duty for women. So like you go to a Call of Duty lobby and the kids will call you all kinds of names, right? They'll call you gay. They'll use racial slurs, but it's not because they actually believe what they're saying. It's because it gets under your skin and they're trying to get you upset. They're trying to trigger you, right? It's not like they
Yep.
actually, and I think this is the same thing here. So, women, they have like a way of like getting like into the most sensitive things to like hurt you emotionally, but it's not because these are things that they actually believe. It's because they know it works on you. So, like,
Mhm.
and people like Belle Delphine, which I talked about a while back. Belle Delphine was like a very popular e-girl online, and she was selling the girlfriend experience on her Patreon or something like that. I don't remember. And then she had the opportunity to go on a podcast. I think it was Ethan Klein, and
Mhm.
Ethan Klein was trying to get her to like, dog on the men that give her money and pay for her OnlyFans and like suggest that she got stalkers or weirdos. But Belle Delphine said, no, actually, the men are not really that mean. Even when they are, it's pretty mild. They call me whore or whatever. But the women are way worse because they know how to find your weaknesses, at your imperfections. They'll point out your
Which really
asymmetries. It's like
Mhm.
these whatever it takes though. And I think that's what
Yep.
they were trying to do to Pearl is basically say, oh, well, you're,
Mhm.
because they'll call her unattractive. They'll try to make her look ugly. They did the same thing with Sydney Sweeney. right? They presented pictures of her without makeup, and you'd be like, oh, look at her, she's gross, right? Zoom to try to like use filters to make all of her imperfections come to the fore. It's just the tactics. It doesn't really have anything to do with their belief system. It's really just like, how can I do the most damage with my words? I know, and that's
And
what
it's
they're doing.
really
So
it really speaks to this idea that, women say, "Oh, we're all tens.
oh
We're
yeah,
all
no. The
tens."
fangs come out, the claws
When the
come out
fangs
when
come out,
yeah.
the itemized list of all of your flaws that they noticed while gaslighting you by saying you're a 10. What the hell is that? Like, they
Mhm.
obviously know
You're a
every
10 as
single
long
flaw.
as you're my ally.
Yes, they
That's
obviously
right.
can tell. They've itemized every single flaw, right? So they know that a woman is not a 10. So they just bullshit about it. And then,
Mhm.
yeah, it's right. And it gets you addicted to the adulation of the sisterhood, because men aren't, like when men judge women, they do it on the curve. They don't actually pick out all of the tiny little things, right? They don't. But women do. So they
Yep.
know. It's just like that woman with the rock on her finger, like the quail egg sized ring, like diamond, that she's like, oh, I don't even know how big it is, right? She's like,
Mhm.
she knows to the 10th of the gram how many carats that is. Every woman who says, oh, you're a perfect 10, knows to the micrometer all of your flaws. Every single one of them. And if you piss her off, she will detail him. And the added humiliation, there's an added humiliation to this, because as she's detailing every one of your flaws, you realize that she saw all of that while she was saying you were a perfect 10, and you were stupid enough, sucker enough to believe her. It is actually diabolical. I don't know. Like, ladies, do you really want to be in this catocracy of the sisterhood? Do you want to be subject to this for the rest of eternity? Is this what you want? Like, no oversight over women's shitty behavior. Nobody's saying,
Yep.
hey, no, stop that. And that's the big thing. Again, I'm not saying all women, but there's no oversight, right? It's just like that's just like the legal situation with women. Not all women are gonna weaponize the legal system against men, but they all have that option. Not all women are going to engage in this kind of nastiness, but they have the option. They're going to have that without the kind of social censure that men would get if they did this. Hell, if they did this, they probably think they were gay, honestly. But really, is this how you want to live your lives? And this squalor and misery? Anyway, it's frustrating. But
Yep.
again, in terms of Pearl, I will say this. She did run up to the mound, like the high ground, tackle Sarah, fling her off of it, and then say, come at me, bro.
Mhm.
So I like that she's exposing the hypocrisy, but on the other hand, what did she expect?
Yep. All right, you want to look at the chaser then?
Sure, let's look at the chaser.
All right, let's look at the chaser.
I broke up with my boyfriend, someone I love, someone I have known for over 10 years, because he didn't stand up to misogynistic.
Can I just point something out?
Opportunity. We had
That filter is really trying hard.
It's doing a lot of heavy lifting.
It's doing a lot of heavy lifting.
just finished watching Adolescence.
You see how her jaw keeps shifting?
Yeah. It's like
Either she's got like she filmed this on like a VHS camera, or she's got a filter that's doing a hell of a lot of heavy lifting. Now that's my catty comment. All right.
all right.
up to misogynistic young men when he was given the opportunity. We had just finished watching Adolescence, a miniseries on Netflix that essentially talks about how boys are being more and more radicalized online, how parents aren't paying attention, and how it's really up to men to help solve this problem because they're surely not going to listen.
In before somebody tells me she's got like some kind of stroke symptom in the left half.
Purpose of propaganda is just this. It's why the show exists. Like, you can watch it and say, oh, well, I didn't get that message. I got this other message. It doesn't matter. It worked. This woman took that away. That was the purpose.
Right behind us were two boys, probably 13 or 14 years old, and they were saying things like, Trump is the best. What has he ever done? He has more followers online. I don't get why no one would like him. And I was seething because my 6'4", handsome, white privileged boyfriend wasn't saying anything. And so finally I stop, I turn around and I get right in their face and I said, he's a fucking rapist. He's a certified fucking rapist. And they go white in the face.
Certified?
Still just saying.
Okay, wait a second. All right, there's a civil suit as far as I know. And
you mean the one with E. Jean Carroll?
I don't know. I don't follow this.
Well, it's a rape accusation, Allison. Why don't you follow it?
Well, because it's an accusation.
Right.
Like,
But you know what? Do you know just how harebrained the accusation is? That it's from like decades ago and that the evidence is like non-existent, but that the activist courts pushed it through because they wanted to damage the orange man's reputation and the media ran with it forever on loop. It's way worse than Harvey Weinstein or Bill Cosby. So like, why isn't like, well, I know that it's going to affect people like this because people just believe it. They believe it because of the Billy Bush thing, right?
Was there an actual conviction?
No, there's no
gone to
hope.
trial?
That's why it was a civil suit. There's no hope of a conviction. But the woman who made the allegation is a nutcase with no evidence. Okay.
Okay.
So this should have been laughed out of any court anywhere, but because the media ran with it and everybody else got behind it, all of the people in the cathedral, the people like this woman just believe it because it was on the news. And I want to believe it. That's another thing. They want to believe it. So we know that's not true. If you guys know the E. Jean Carroll thing, that's like the most ridiculous rape accusation ever. Like ever, period. Like for real. The woman is crazy and drunk all the time. Like, but anyway. So yeah, she's saying certified because this is how propaganda works. This woman is like, this is a Poe. I mean, she said, oh, we watched Adolescence, so important. And then what? She's just spitting out the talking points that the show has. And why then did Keir Starmer say, oh, that this is a documentary, it should be shown in schools? You think that's an accident? Do you think it's because he's stupid? No. Like, there's a purpose behind all, and it works. The purpose of a system is what it does. This is what is happening. So like the E. Jean Carroll thing is just another layer of stupid, but this woman just believes it. And what does she do here? She confronts these kids and she creates a hostile situation with the express hope that her boyfriend is going to intervene. So essentially she's one of these women that starts fights that their boyfriends have to finish, right?
Yep.
So let's this is on purpose. This is and it's all because of the propaganda.
Wasn't saying anything. And so finally I stop, I turn around and I get right in their face and I said, he's a fucking rapist. He's a certified fucking rapist. And they go white in the face. Boyfriend? Still just standing there, not saying anything. Once the boys get their bearings, they say something like, well, Trump is my daddy. Trump is your daddy. And I was furious. I had a full-blown crash out. I took my full morning latte and I smashed it on the ground and I grunted and yelled and walked away. And he's like, what's the matter? You're the matter. Not even the boys so much. Him, because he had an opportunity to stand up against misogyny and he fucking didn't.
Why?
But
How
I
is that
still think that that's
misogyny?
not real. I actually still think, like, in a way, it could like she said
It could
she
be a
threw her
poem.
morning latte. Like but I wouldn't, like, you guys can't tell.
And then I pelted them with my avocado toast.
Well, that's the thing. The only reason why I think it's true is because she didn't win.
Yeah.
Like, so,
And there's
like
no
there wasn't an 8-year-old involved that was like, "Mommy, are the bad ice men gonna take me away and throw me in the ocean with the alligators?"
Yeah.
Anyway,
Well, I just okay, and this isn't a left or right thing. Okay. If this is an allegation that's ridiculous, it's an allegation that's ridiculous. Period. Then and if she's saying that it's a certified, no, it's not certified at all. Well, first of all, it's a civil suit. So you and second of all, was it decided or was it taken out of court or something to end it? What was it?
I mean, it's ongoing, but it looks like E. Jean Carroll's gonna have to, like, pay him back or something. Like, I think she's losing the case.
All right. And
So
also, even in some cases, when these cases, like the women in a criminal trial actually get a conviction, it's actually a false conviction. So, but we don't even have the final result. And she's saying, "Oh, it's certified." No, it's not. Okay, it is not. But this could be a Poe. Let's finish, I guess.
that's the end of it. That was it. I played it.
She's leaving her 6'4" boyfriend for this.
Yeah, Giga Chad boyfriend. But that's what I'm saying. Like, it. I don't know. I think that people online, they're inclined to
Nonsense.
be hyperbolic because it gets them more likes and clicks and retweets. So
Well, honestly,
this could be, like, somewhat true, but there's a lot of embellishment, is what I'm saying.
I'm
So
worried. Like I said that catty remark about her filter. I'm just wondering if maybe she's actually like had a stroke or something because of the left side of her. Then that's gonna make me feel really bad.
oh, maybe she's. No, I'm not gonna say it. I don't want to get
Oh,
into trouble. She's jabbed.
she underwent an experimental
Yeah,
procedure.
she had some of her DNA changed forever.
I don't think it actually does that, but
I don't know.
yeah. Okay. All right. Okay. So I'm gonna double check, see where we're at with the no, it's not gonna show up there. It'll take a moment. Nope, we haven't gotten anything additional.
It's all right.
Only $345, but it's gonna make a big difference for Brian, guys. So please go to that feedthebadger.com/project/ and close encounters of the Cervidae kind. I really should have made that a simpler URL. It's in the low bar and it's also on our Discord. And I've also been putting it in chat. I'll do it again. I'll give it to you guys again if I can find it on my. Actually, I don't think I have the link handy, but I'll do it anyway. I'll just keep wittering away until I find it and then give it to you.
Okay.
Yeah. But anyway, any point after the show you want to send us a message, you can do so at feedthebadger.com/justthetip. Very much appreciated. We enjoy the funds. You enjoy a way of sending us a comment that isn't destructive to your comment. So it will preserve your comment. Okay, there you go. I put it in the
All right.
in the horizontal chat, the good chat. All right. So yeah. Anything additionally you wanted to say? I think I'm done.
No, I think we're good. I think we've gone and done this the proper
This is
amount
ample.
of. Yeah, this is
We've
ample
done that.
for sure.
This is an ample amount of work for today.
Mm-hmm.
An ample amount of content for the shorts.
Yeah, hopefully. All right.
Yeah, okay. All right, let's do it then.
Okay. Well, thanks guys for supporting us, and I hope that I will see you guys on Saturday for the Mixed Up Meetup by the Hannahs are organizing. If you want to know more about that, join our Discord for free at badgernation.online. And Hannah will be more than happy to supply the info. I believe that Mike and Lauren will be there as well. So it should be a lot of fun. And then again, I'll hopefully see you guys in September in Calgary for the bigger meetup. So one of those,
Perhaps
both of those,
bigger.
whatever. But yeah. So anyway, thanks guys for coming on the show. If you guys like this video, please hit like, subscribe if you're not already subscribed. Hit the bell for notifications, leave us a comment, let us know what you guys think about what we discussed in the show today. And please, please, please share this video because sharing is caring. Thank you guys so much for coming on today's episode of Maintaining Frame and some other stuff. And we'll talk to you guys in the next one.
Men's rights activists are machines, dude. Okay? They are literal machines. They are talking point machines. They are impossible to fucking deal with, especially if you have like a couple dudes who have good memory on top of that too. Holy shit, you're fucked.